Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
This isn't about printing. It's about better results with over 90 offices right across the country in residential, commercial and rural.
Kina tagata whenua, e nā manihiri kua tai mai nei, tēnei rā, no mai piki mai. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to Owen Delany Park in beautiful Taupo, Aotearoa, New Zealand, for the New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship. Team's just finished warming up, flipping the disc on the right there to decide who plays in what direction, and if necessary who plays dark and who plays light, but both teams have already got quite separate uniforms, so no need for that. They'll be the captains who will be up there making that call of the flip of the disc. It's normally a normal captain of the team, but often also a spirit captain. And the spirit captain is, the captain may drive the team in terms of play. Spirit captain will be driving the teams in terms of the values that Ultimate stands for, in terms of conduct on the field, playing fairly, how teams are supporting each other. If there's any issues between the teams, maybe plays a little bit, getting a bit too rough, or anything like that, spirit captains will often have a chat, just raise the issue, take it back to the team, say, guys, let's be a little bit more careful about what we're doing in the contact area. And just like the rest of the sport, if there's a disagreement about whether the disc is out, or a contact or a foul, it'll be called and self-refed. There's no other ref or umpire on the field, and the players will discuss it. They'll give their view of why they've called the foul, what they saw. The other player may give their version. And if it's and normally it's agreed as to who will have the possession of the disc. Both teams are lining up at the moment, and here we have the first Kume, the first pull. Beautiful conditions. Kume heads down the field, disc, and we're into play.
Very little wind out there today. Contrast to yesterday's conditions, today is just beautiful. Typical Taupo weather. So this is a playoff for 5th, 6th, I believe.
Yes.
Hutt Valley High School in the white and Hamilton High in the red. They did meet in pool play, and that was a very tight game. I can't remember what the exact score was, but there was 1 or 2 points in it. Very close, competitive game. Hutt Valley High won that just based on a little bit more experience. And this is going to be an interesting game here because Hamilton High would have picked up a lot of skills over the duration as a tournament, as you do. Playing together, working out some strategies. The teams have worked well together. Hutt Valley High in position here, not managing to connect that disc down that far sideline. As it's Mike Sheridan here on fresh on the mic again. I do have to admit the bias that I have coached the Hutt Valley High School team for the last 10 years, so I know all these Hutt Valley High School kids very well. And obviously I don't know the Hamilton boys quite so well, but I'll attempt to give credit there. So that was number 4, Dylan Maratz, passing it through to the scorer. I think was that number 2, Michael James. Great name, Michael James. So that's first score on the scoreboard, Hamilton High up 1-0.
Ai ka mua mā te kotahi. Mike, this will be game 6 for a lot of these players, and already only just into over 2 days.
I think this is game 7 for Hutt Valley High.
Wow.
Yeah, they had 4 games yesterday, and this is their 3rd game today.
That'll take its toll.
Yes, it does. You can see just on the sideline there, players with hands on the hips. There's not a lot of enthusiasm and boisterousness on the sidelines as there is at the start of the tournament.
Yeah.
Hutt Valley High in possession, trying to work that disc back in. Lovely run through D there by, and a score. Scored by number 7, Jacob Kilgore. Who threw that? I think it was number 8, possibly.
That was nice transition from that tuku, that turnover, that intercept, straight onto pick it up. Receivers are going.
Liam Weston picked that up, I think it was. Yes, Liam. I think Liam's the captain of the Hamilton High team as well. Very good start for them. They'll be very pleased with that. 2-0 up on Hutt Valley High.
Now Hamilton, they finished 8th last year.
Did they?
Yeah, and they're happy. I think they'll be quite happy with whatever the outcome of this game, with the relatively high placing they've got. There's more teams in it this year. It's a larger competition.
Yes. I'm not sure how many players they've got returning from last year. Actually, they look like a fairly fresh, younger team that they've got, a development team here at Hamilton boys.
Yeah, I think they've got 3 year 13s, but a lot of year 10s in. And actually a couple of year 13s have only just really picked up the sport.
Right. Yes.
But Shannon Mackey has come in. He's here as coach, supported by Ollie Cowley, both teachers. Shannon's just new to Hamilton High this year, so he's hit the ground running with the team.
Hamilton High, of course, have got a great reputation for playing in top-level sporting competitions. I know rugby, they play at a very high level. And in the past, they have actually sort of put... one year they did actually have one of their rugby teams here playing in the competition, playing Ultimate. And they did very, very well. Had a lot of athleticism, of course. And Hamilton doing very well. A lot more composure here. That's 3 points on the trot. 3-0 to Hamilton High, Hamilton boys.
They'll be very happy with that. The they played against Westlake, which was one of our previous live streamed games, and they started off very well. I think they said for the first 4 minutes and the last 8 minutes of the game, they did what they really planned to do. But the rest of the game, they did struggle against Westlake, are a very smooth, well-established outfit, and the Westlake guys have played a lot together. But Hamilton...
Who won that game? Was that a Westlake win?
Westlake won it quite convincingly.
Right.
But hat off to Hamilton High. They didn't let up through the whole game. Their defence was good hustle defence.
So the Hutt Valley High School team, by contrast, they were second last year. They lost the final last year. The level of experience in the team is, however, I think there's 3 players here that are returning from that last year. So there's not a lot of returning players, but in the building phase as well. The Hutt Valley High School team is predominantly year 11s and a couple of year 10s. 4 year 10s and 6 year 11s. So not a mature team. Hamilton High back in possession again. They've forced some mistakes on Hutt Valley High. Didn't quite manage to sort of pull that in the end zone, and Hutt Valley High looking to sort of take advantage of a quick throw and go. Move between their key handlers. Is he going to be able to pull that in? No, it drifts out to the back corner. So looking to take advantage of quick throw and goes. Didn't quite come to fruition that time. So Hamilton High back into... Is it Hamilton High or Hamilton Boys?
I think Hamilton High.
Hamilton High, okay. I thought it was Hamilton Boys High School. Hutt Valley High School back in possession. Their 2 key handlers at the back there, Darren Leishman and James Bowen running a lovely 1-2 and throwing across to Ben Kubera to score. Hutt Valley High be relieved with that, getting a score on the board and getting some momentum going. Ultimate is it's an interesting game of momentum. It just was following a semi-final prior to this, a girls' semi-final, and I think that was a game of momentum with one team establishing quite a break on the other. I think there was 6 points in it, and then the second place team, who was 5 points behind, then scored 6 points on the trot and came away with the win.
Wow.
So that was a huge momentum shift, and of course there was one team that was very, very happy with that, and the other team was looking to see what they could improve on for future games.
It's amazing how Ultimate can change like that a team can get on a run, they get that confidence, and the passes and the cuts, they just seem to flow.
It's a game of confidence.
Yeah.
So it's you want that. Oh, that's a terrible pull. That's not very good. That pull goes. It didn't come in. Darren won't mind me telling him that it's not very good. We talked about this at training, that the biggest mistake you can make when you do a pull is the disc not coming back in. So Hamilton High have the disc 2 metres off the end zone.
And that's because... Oh, there we go.
Nice score. Yes.
It's much the hardest part of the field to defend on
yes,
the goal line.
Yes, it's very hard to defend when you're in that red zone.
But they came all the way back because the option for a pull that goes out is to either take it on the brick, which is actually quite far, considerably back down the field, or actually take it where it went out.
Yes, that's correct, yes. And it went out right there near the corner with Liam Weston picking up that disc and throwing it into Jacob Kilgore, who scored. So Liam, he's a captain, year 12. His father was actually a pro squash player, so there's obviously some sporting pedigree in the family. So timeout called. I didn't see who called that, but I imagine it was Hutt Valley High School wanting to sort of just cool things down a bit. You can see the coach there on the left. That's Ollie Swanson, pointing and just gesticulating as to what we should be improving on.
There's Shannon Mackay with his back to us, number 10 shirt on, as the coach for Hamilton.
So we have a contrast here. So we have so the Hamilton team is coached by a couple of teachers, and the Hutt Valley High School team is coached by Ollie, who's an ex-player. He left school 3 years ago. I think it's his third year out of school, so he's a returning alumni. And he's helped by Natan and Aidan down there on the field as well, who are also fresh out of school. They lost the final last year. Alumni coming back to help the team and help coach. So both the boys and the girls, Hutt Valley High School teams are now coached by alumni, previous players.
Excellent, and particularly because if they've only just left school, they must have played with some of the players just before they left, or they were part of the same program.
Yes, exactly. So you can see Natan and Aidan in the dark shirts walking away from us to the far sideline, the assistant coaches.
And hats off to them for coming back and giving back to the sport that they've enjoyed.
Very important part of it, actually, to keep the culture. Well, I see it as a very important part of it, to keep the culture, a positive culture going, and to give back to a sport that has given so much to them. So Hutt Valley High School looking to receive the disc on the left-hand side there. See their names on the back of their shirts there nicely, so I don't have to tell you who they are.
Hamilton leading Kimua Mā Te Toru, up by 3 over Hutt Valley Tahi.
So Hutt Valley in possession there. Ori Hoskin passing down to Luca Mitchell on the sideline. Oh, lovely run through D from George Blake. Brand new player, but gosh, that's an impact. Those run through Ds. This is a game of defence.
Is it up? Sees it.
Yeah, lovely conversion. It's a very good control by Hamilton boys. Score by George Blake, the new player who made the run through D, so it's a bookends, we call it. Pushed the opposition to have a turnover and then scored the point.
It's a nice combination as he got separation from his defensive player there. He put his hand up and having a kōkiri, a handler who can hit him.
It was a very good bladey throw from the throw. I didn't see what the number of the player was, but that was a very good throw.
Waited just enough to give him time to catch,
yep.
But not enough time for his defensive player to catch up on him and then compete for the disc.
Yes, that throw wouldn't have worked yesterday in the wind. It would have been a very difficult throw to execute in the wind today. With no wind, he did well to sort of execute it. Hutt Valley High School back in possession, 5-1 to Hamilton.
Actually, they were ideal conditions now that dew is burnt off the grass. Here we go. Nice look.
Yes, that was a nice look. Harry Kubera scoring the goal in the end zone. Passed by Darren Leishman. It was a COVID-interrupted year last year. We were surprised that the tournament managed to sort of go ahead. We had a strategy last year at Hutt Valley High as we selected a large squad with a large number of reserves, and in the end we had to call on those reserves. I think prior to the tournament we had 3 boys go down with COVID in the last day or two, and 1 broke his finger in the last week. So we lost 4 players in the last week, so we had to call on that wider team to come along and join us.
Nice to have that depth, though.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was quite a luxury. And then we had it was an interesting story about going home in the van There was 2 vans, a boys' van and a girls' van. The girls' van turned into the COVID van, with every single one of them catching COVID on the way home. But they lasted through the tournament, that was the main thing.
Yes.
And they've all brushed COVID aside now, of course. But no, we did a similar thing this year where we selected large squads, but we had no problems. So we selected a squad of 13 for the girls, and all 13 managed to turn up. So that was good. So Darren Leishman back trying to control the game again from the back, in the backwards hat.
A few bugger. Looks like Hamilton, often teams will allow that swing pass, won't they?
Yes, they will.
It doesn't advance the other team up the field. Yep. There's a tuku, a turnover.
Yep.
So they'll allow that pass, and even if they force them into a swing, the more passes, the more opportunity possibly for a tuku, a turnover.
Yep. That's what they're looking for, is of course the more passes you have to make, the more opportunity there is for a mistake to be made. So Hamilton High didn't quite connect throwing that down, that long pass downfield. Back into possession again. Couldn't quite connect in that throw up the line. Just man defence being played here today. Hutt Valley High School have got a couple of zones up their sleeve, but they haven't brought them out so far. They may be a little bit tired to sort of think about that. Oh, lovely defence there by Sahab Mohammed. New player this year, brand new to Ultimate. A football player, plays a lot of football, and uses the same sort of space skills of football that he on the Ultimate field.
It would be similar, finding space, wouldn't it?
It's all about finding space, yes. As we've mentioned previously, of course, the disc behaves quite differently from the ball.
Yes.
A ball, you can get some good players that can bend it like Beckham, so you do get some movement on the ball.
Nice pickup.
Very nice pickup, straight off the blades of the grass. It was Mason Spears, I think, that picked that up.
Actually, also with foot...
Didn't quite manage to jam that disc through the middle.
Also with football, not just finding space, but also being able to hang off your player in defence, and hopefully just enough room that if the pass goes to your player, you can intercept in time just like you did back there.
Yes, that's correct, yes. Hutt Valley High School might be getting a little bit tired. They're doing a bit of a huck and hope type strategy right at the moment. So rather than cool, calm, collected control and good passing, short passing, let's see what they come up with now. We're still looking to sort of throw it long. That's a 50-50, 3-on-2, sort of, but nicely brought down by Ben Cobra, who passed it quite straightforwardly through to Sahib. So the high pass paid off for them on that occasion.
Watch Sahib if we've got it here when it comes up. Watch him get... This was lovely competition. Good timing under the disc. Up, two-handed catch.
Yeah.
Needs the short pass.
Landed on the line. Landed on the line. Was not in.
Yep. But watch the separation we get on there. A nice fake to the left, heads to the right, finds that separation. It's a nice clear pass.
That was a lovely clear pass. Yes, it was an easy goal in the end. Only 2 metres separating the passer and the receiver.
And Hamilton came in Muama Te Toru, leading 5-2 over.
I think that's 5-3 now.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Let's looking down on that. Yeah, here we go. That's updated now. Looking down there on the field, showing 5-3.
Kamua Māterua.
So Hutt Valley High School a little bit more control and have brought things back a little bit. So Hamilton boys now receiving. So as we were talking before about the movement of the disc being different from the movement of the ball, you can alter the speed of your throws, obviously, but you could alter the angle of the... I think it was just out. Yes, the players have called that out, so there's no linesman here. It's up to the players to make the call as to whether it was in or out. So number 10, Luca Mitchell, called that out. He received it nicely, but it was out. So Hamilton back into possession. Yes, was that it? No, pulled down. So good spirit shown there by number 5, Mason Spears. Calling it down. Hopefully High School taking advantage of that and scoring. So a closer game, 5-4. As we said before, a game of runs and confidence. Hamilton High started off the game very, very well with a lot of confidence and got a good run of points on the board. Hutt Valley High School using a bit more control now to try and bring things back their way. Number 7, Darren Leishman, passing through to, didn't catch that number of who the receiver was. Apologies to that player who no doubt will tell me off later that I didn't get their number. So another timeout called. Didn't see who called that. I would imagine it was Hamilton. Just trying to sort of regather their troops and say what's going on. How come we've let Hutt Valley High School back into it?
As with all games this weekend, we're playing to 15. First team to reach 15. As soon as one of the teams reaches 8, that'll trigger half-time. But on top of that, we've got a 50-minute soft camp, which you'll hear a hooter at 50 minutes. The teams will continue to play the point until the team scores. So if we were to get a soft cap and the score after that team has scored is 10-8, they'd add 1 point onto the highest score, which would be 10. That'd make 11, so both teams would then play to 11. Is that correct, Mike?
Yes, that's correct, yes. Yep, good explanation. So going to 15 here today. Hamilton still up 5-4. So yes, the movement of the disc is what the game's all about. You can curve that disc, you can get it to hold up in the air, you can throw it like a bullet, throw it with nice floaty passes that hang up with lots of spin. So that's a very good pull. Went out, so the receiving player puts his hands in the air saying, I'm not going to take it from where it went out, I'm going to take it from the X spot, the brick mark. So that's number 8,
Liam
Weston bringing that disc back in. Oh, the Hutt Valley High School team, oh no, they've switched to man, or have they? Bit of confusion as to what they were doing there.
And number 7 there, Jacob Kilgore, he's actually playing injured.
Yes, Hamilton nicely controlling that disc. I think Hutt Valley High School were trying to play a zone, but it broke up in the middle there, lost its structure.
Dylan Moratti.
Moratti scored that?
Yep.
Number 42, Ori Hoskin did get a tip to that disc on that scoring pass. You can see it nicely here with this refund. Just tapped it. Not quite enough though to cause the disc to go out. You can see it here. I just gave it a little brush.
It did, didn't he?
Little airbrush.
Yeah.
You can watch that one later, Ori.
Good defence. But just not quite enough to send it off its path enough that it would have missed Dylan.
Some very close games here today. Lots of excitement on some of the other fields. I'm not sure who's made it through in the boys through to the finals, but we'll no doubt we'll find that out soon. I think the girls finalists are going to be Takapuna versus Epsom Grammar. Hutt Valley High School back in possessions. 4-6 down. It's Ben Kuber with the disc.
Nice
looking to centre it nicely back to Darren Leachman, their key playmaker. Out to James Bowen. As you said, they're just looking to pass it backwards and forwards between them. In the red zone now, looking to score if they can keep their heads. to centre it again. Over to the middle, please, boys. Or jam it into the corner. Okay, I think they were running an isolation play, trying to pass it to Darren Leishman, number 7. Thrower of the disc that time was... Who's that with the disc there? Is that... I think that was...
76, Bowen.
Oh, yes, James Bowen.
Bowen, sorry.
Nice patience shown by the player, James.
Nice footwork.
And good footwork by Leishman.
I think James Kilgour is... no, he's still on. Plain injured. They obviously need his skills.
Interesting, the lines that get played at this end of the tournament. You will see some players, the key players in any team, get lots of game time. Very hard to maintain that through 7 games over a couple of days. Very hard to maintain continual play. You'll see Darren Leishman with the disc in his hand. I don't think he's been off the field yet. Lovely pull. And the blades of grass grabbing that disc on the way through and pulling it down. Oh, the nice layout, but again, the blades of grass pulled it the other way.
Nice transition. Was hanging up for him.
Is he going to get that? Oh, yes, he does, but was he in?
No.
Do they need the action replay? No, they've called it already themselves that it was caught out. So we see Harry Cooper at that end missing it. The pull.
It was a good chase.
It was a very good chase. Oh, yes, you can see his foot was out when he went to catch it. And then a pull right down the other end. Not quite having the legs to catch it. That was a good option. Must not execute. Both throws were decent throws, the length of the field. Not able to pull them down though. So Hamilton back in possession again on their own end zone. Nicely pulled through the middle there. Pushed. And that's a sky disc, and Darren Leishman had the height on that one and the timing of the jump as well. Throwing it up the line to Bowen, and Bowen then looking to throw it up the line to Sahib.
Good view. Bumfa.
That was a good goal. I'll be happy with that. That was good execution. James Bowen, lovely throw, lovely waiting, just into that back corner. What's that score now? Is that 6 each?
I believe we have. Etukingatata Tene. This is a tight game.
Yes. 6-all, yes. 6-all. So hopefully Hive managed to pull it back against a strong start from Hamilton. Hutt Valley have managed to pull it back, and I'd suggest that using their control will be the way to do well. And Hamilton has still got many options up their sleeves as to how they can play this game. Coach will be no doubt drilling them is about what they should be doing. So Hamilton receiving the disc. Just caught up a little bit in the wind there. Nice throw over the top to get it down the field. Now attacking strongly. Cluster around the disc, but they managed to sort of free it into the middle of the field. Oh, lovely one-handed outstretched catch. Oh, lovely bladey pass by Weston, captain. And pulled down by, who caught that? see his number 11, I think it is. And number 11's name is Emmanuel. I'm going to have an attempt at this, so apologies, Emmanuel, if I get this wrong. Kathuni Sawana. So Emmanuel Kathuni Siwana. Nice little pass, though, a bladey pass over the top to clear the defenders. So Hamilton regaining the lead.
Kimua Matetahi, just by one.
I had compliments. We were talking yesterday about commentary and commentary styles and what we bring to the mic. And I did have complimentary comments about your style yesterday, Mark, and the te reo skills that you have. Very impressive. And between the two of us, I think we were giving some interesting insights to what was happening yesterday, and hopefully again the same today.
Nice. Well, we're with us quite often. We've got whānau and friends who are of the players who are watching this who may not have seen an ultimate game before. And some good defence.
That was very good layup defence by James Bowen, just tipping the disc out of reach from the Hamilton player.
So while we may have some experienced people who have played it a lot and very experienced, we've got some people watching this and actually it can be a little bit confusing, or you can get a lot more out of the game if you know a little bit about the basics and why the players are doing what they're doing.
Yep.
Although we may repeat ourselves a little bit.
There might be some discussion about that one. No, he's happy with that. There was a bit of contact there, but he was happy with that contact, so no foul called. It's up to the players if they think they're fouled. They can call a foul. Different players are going to be happy with different levels of contact. And it's important that the teams establish what's acceptable and what's not. At all costs, they should be avoiding any collisions or dangerous play. Nice cut from the stack by Sahib.
One more.
Valley High School playing a bit of a loose vertical stack. Nicely reeled in by Leishman. Moving up the line nicely. Oh, that was a grass grabber. Hamilton High back in possession. Hamilton now are 1 point up. 7-6. Well, a floater nicely pulled down by Sahib.
Looking for options. Nice few.
That was read nicely by the player in the background. But yes, you can see that hand against a hand signal. That's calling a foul. So saying that number 8 interfered with him. Let's have a look here. Yes, well, it's a tough one actually as to...
He felt that if he may have got that disc and secured it if there hadn't been contact.
Yes, so said that the player pushed him off his line. So it's up to the players to work that out amongst themselves. So there's a bit of a chat going on the field now. What the players can do is they can ask for a perspective from other players, and generally you'll see in there the captain coming in to sort of give a perspective. And what's happened here is the players couldn't agree, so they couldn't agree that the foul was scored, a foul was made, so it goes back to the previous thrower. So a contested foul goes back to the previous throw.
You may have noticed everyone was standing in the same position on the field. It is a tuku, good defence. Staying in the same position because if it does go back, if it is a contested call, then they should be in the same position they were when that first pass was thrown.
Yes, when a foul is called, you need to sort of yell it out. And we use hand signals as well. and play should freeze. So Hutt Valley High back in possession after that turnover.
This is a very long point.
It is a long point.
There'll be some tired legs on this. Have a look at what's happening away from the disc. Look at the cuts of the players. They're doing what the defenders are doing to try and cover them.
Yeah, Hutt Valley High School. Oh, yeah, they'll be looking to sort of centre this, please, boys. Thank you.
That'll give them more options, won't it?
More options out both sides of the field. And a push pass by Harry Kubra.
Nice cut
to Leishman.
Nice cut from the back of the...
It was a cut across the zone. So the actual pass he made wasn't what you would call a standard pass. Let's have a look at this. Look at this pass. It's called a push pass. So his hand is in a backhand grip, but he's actually trying to sort of push it backwards. A hard pass to execute. It's a pass that it doesn't come off that often, easily interfered with by the wind. Very difficult to get much spin on it. So often frowned upon by coaches.
But it's unexpected by the defender, isn't
yes,
it?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Yep.
So sometimes it's that quick pass that they're expecting something that they can defend.
A quick pass coming out of where you weren't expecting it to come from.
Well, we're tied up.
Tied up again on sevens.
Fitu to fitu.
Towards
Hamilton High School looking to move that disc. Lovely.
You explain that, Mike.
Yeah, lovely pat of the disc by the Hutt Valley High School player that pushed it out. And then the Hamilton boy, number 7, Jacob Kilgore, tried to sort of catch it while in the air before his feet hit the ground and push it back in. Unsuccessfully.
What's that called?
It's called, if it comes off, it's called the greatest.
Yeah.
So Hamilton back in possession again. Turnover on the far sideline. Hutt Valley High School back in possession. 7-all.
Oh, big Mamoa.
Yeah, big throw. And if you look at the size of Muhammad, he's quite a bit shorter than the other two players, but the timing of his jump was excellent. Yes, thank you, Muhammad. Sahib.
He's happy with it.
He's very happy with it. Let's just look at that. The timing of his jump. He got up very high. Gets good vertical height. So that's Hutt Valley High School taking the lead for the first time in the game. On his feet. Good management. Excellent management of his feet as well. Hi, Mum. Excellent management of his feet. And that's half time. 8-7 to Hutt Valley High School.
Excellent.
From us, it's a huge thank you to New Zealand Carbon Farming. Certainly the opportunities and the sponsorship that's been provided is pretty crucial for our school.
We're buying new volleyball gear, so volleyball nets, balls and the stands to attach the volleyball nets to the floor.
New Zealand Carbon Farming sponsorship, we've used it to purchase some table tennis tables, which give our students an extra activity to be involved in during lunch times, allows them to keep active and enjoy their school day a little bit more.
Thank you New Zealand Carbon Farming for giving us these tables.
We've got some really good table tennis players in the school. I can see it actually growing into a slightly more competitive sport for our students as well.
We'd just like to thank you from Taupo New High School. See.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
All
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this downtown apartment is the perfect first property. Our vendors have a new baby, then moving on, so we're selling this today. Do I have any more bids? One bid here, thank you. I've got a bid there. We've got one more here. Yes, we have one more bid. We have a bid here. Do we have any more final
This
bids?
isn't about just selling one property. It's about getting a better result for our clients,
Sold!
so we can help them with their next property, the one after that, and the one after that.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome back to New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship 2023. We're here at the semi-final, watching Hamilton High against Hutt Valley. And it's just with the Kume that's come. It's headed out from Hamilton. It's an exciting game so far, Mike.
Oh, it is. Yes, it's been an even game. We love even games. Hamilton High went out to an early lead with some good control, and Hutt Valley High School have slowly pulled that back and are now in the lead 8-7. We're seeing that often, that move, that 1-2 up the line. So across to Bowen, and then didn't quite come off that time. With very good defence blocking that out. Into Faisal in the middle. Faisal Abdallah. Faisal centering it nicely to his handler, James Bowen.
Nice look.
Yeah, nice look down the middle of the field.
Looking for an option. It's quite good control.
That was good, very good patience. Coaches love that.
There we go. Pays off.
Yeah, it does pay off. Yeah. Coaches don't like it when teams grab that disc and try and throw it to that first 50-50 option. They way prefer you to sort of hold on to that disc. If there's no obvious option there, then recenter it again and look to sort of carry on.
So Hutt Valley Kimua Māterua lead by 2, so 9-7. Now, even though we've just had half time, which was triggered by the first team reaching 8, and our goal is to the first team to 15, we are actually less than 5 minutes away of the soft cap of 50 minutes. So you'll hear a hooter at 50 minutes. We'll finish the point that we're playing, add 1 point onto the highest score, and that'll be the new target for to take away the semi-final.
This isn't a semi-final, Mark.
Wasn't it?
No, this is a playoff for 5th, 6th.
Oh, my apologies. It was scheduled to be the semi, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes. I think they swapped things around. I'd like this to be the semi-final.
Oh, with that Valley in.
Yes. So just for the audience, yes, I admit my bias, coaching the Hutt Valley High School boys for many years. So I do know their names and sight of each player.
Well, it's a bonus for these two teams to get another streamed game.
Yes. Intercepted there by Hutt Valley High. Good work in the air by Jacob Kilgore. Couldn't quite pull it down though. And Leishman throwing it long.
Both go up.
Both go up, and I think number 8 was it? Got a better read of the disc. That's Liam Weston. And throwing it back to Jacob Kilgore. Back to Liam in the middle again. And those two players are anchoring the offensive line. And Mason Spears.
Nice.
Lovely goal through on the far corner. Catching the disc in the end was...
Number 1, I think, Tahi.
Number 1, George Blake. Brand new player. Year 13 lad. This is... look at that lovely inside-out throw there by... that was Mason. That's a lovely throw, that inside-out throw.
Even though he's a left-handed, he's thrown a forehand.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a little hard for a defender to get used to. You may be wanting to force the whole team onto their forehand, which would normally be their right hand. Yes. So everyone's forcing them to the other side, so you stand on that side of your defensive player, but they're left-handed.
Yes.
So they get to throw it backhanded around. Yes. Here we go, the Kume.
So Hamilton pulled it back a point there, so it's still 9-8, Huntly High School 1 point up. They'll be wanting to use their control techniques, I'm hoping, to score again.
That's good defence from Hamilton. Couldn't get that swing across the field.
That was great defence from Hamilton, stopping that swing pass and then that pass up the line. Oh, lovely pass over the top of the defenders too there from Liam.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh, yes, was that in? Yes, it was called in.
It's given.
Yep. So nice goal by
Toru, 3, I think.
Joshua Jack. I can see him cutting across.
Yes, he is. Look at that movement.
Lovely cut.
Cuts behind the defence. Just enough space.
Passed by George. Lovely pass. Cool, calm, collected pass by George. Through to Joshua Jack. Nice cut. And
nice. They're happy about it.
Very happy about it. That's evens again.
Play.
9-all.
Less than a minute away from the soft cap.
Be another tight game. Down to the wire.
Which will most surely mean we'll be playing to 11.
Yes.
Regardless of who scores in this next point.
Yes, true. Yep. We can predict the game will be to 11. Unless they score in the next 20 seconds. There's the hooter. Hooter's gone. So soft caps in. So it will be a game to 11. And there's Huntly High working that up the line move. And again.
Get it off that sideline, off that sideline. Nice, real nice.
Centering it back to James Bowen, the handler. Good defensive work by his marker. Good defensive work by Hamilton over the team, actually. All committed to the D. Nicely pulled up, and I think he was calling a foul on it.
Could have been a strip, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was just pulled out of his hands as he ran through.
That hand signal where both hands go down and slightly out from the hips means it's uncontested.
Yeah.
So no dispute.
And Ben Kubra scoring. Yes.
Number Tacoma Tahi.
Number 11, Ben Kubra scoring. A pass from James Bowen. Sorry, James. Nice pace. So James listened to his coach on that occasion, looked for all of the players, all of the options across the field, and saw the unmarked player in the centre of the field. So Hutt Valley High School 1 goal up, 10-9, and it's a game to 11. Looks like another timeout has been called. I guess that would be Hamilton calling that timeout. I didn't quite see. It's their second timeout.
Each team allowed 2 per game, I believe.
Yes. Tight game here. Perfect conditions. Hopefully I think we're streaming the boys' final next and then the girls' final after that. Hopefully those 2 games are good, tight, competitive games to sort of give the spectators a good run for their money. Keep that tension level high. Keep the parents, supporters, whānau on the edges of their seats.
I was actually going to say that the next one is the final for the Open Division. That's due to start at 1 o'clock, which I think was about 2 minutes ago.
Right. And do you know who's in that final?
No, not as yet. I was waiting for the results of the the other semi.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't seen who's in the final either. It looks like, just looking at the teams who are warming up, we can see the team I commentated yesterday, Hillcrest, at one end, and I can see Auckland Grammar at the other end warming up. So I think it's Auckland Grammar versus Hillcrest, which is a very interesting game.
That'll be interesting, because I watched a few of the Westlake games and was very impressed with them.
And then we see the Hillcrest team warming up there.
But that's
anyway, back to the present. We have the playoff for 5th, 6th. Oh, an unlucky drop there of the disc. And a foul called by Hutt Valley High. As you can see the hand signal he made.
And that could have been either his hand or his arm was hit, but also even hitting the disc while it's still in the handler's hand.
Yep. I didn't quite see what happened there, but a foul called. So it's at the moment the score is 10-9 to Hutt Valley, and it's a game to 11. So this is a pretty critical call. I'm hoping that they use good spirit down there to sort it out in the best possible way. They're discussing it amongst the players. They're asking for perspectives from other players.
Well, because if you've got a new player, actually, so they may not quite be clear about the rules. So a more experienced player on the team can just come across, give that advice and say, well, like we did if it was a hit on the hand or the disc hadn't left the hand, and then they, not necessarily giving an answer to the player, but just giving them more information that they can throw into the equation.
Correct. So disc is retained by Hutt Valley High School, so the foul must have been accepted. Well, actually, even if it was contested in this particular case, it would stay with James. So Bowen with the disc.
They may just be agreeing on the stall count, where it was.
Yes,
because
they might be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have that sophistication of a mic on the players to know exactly what they're saying. So Bowen looking to finish this game off, putting it back to his playmaker, Leishman. Great defence on him by the Hamilton player. Nicely put down into the corner. So a 1-2 move between Leishman and Bowen, and I think that's the game.
It is. Congratulations to Hutt Valley High School. 11-9 over Hamilton boys. We'll take a very quick break and we'll come back to you with the Open Division final. Thank you very much, Mike, for your insight today. Ka kite anō.
From us, it's a huge thank you to New Zealand Carbon Farming. Certainly the opportunities and the sponsorship that's been provided is pretty crucial for our school.
We're buying new volleyball gear, so volleyball nets, balls and the stands to attach the volleyball nets to the floor.
New Zealand Carbon Farming sponsorship, we've used it to purchase some table tennis tables, which give our students an extra activity to be involved in during lunch times, allows them to keep active and enjoy their school day a little bit more.
Thank you New Zealand Carbon Farming for giving us these tables.
We've got some really good table tennis players in the school. I can see it actually growing into a slightly more competitive sport for our students as well.
New
We'd just like to thank you from Taupo New High School. See you.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this downtown apartment is the perfect first property. Our vendors have a new baby, they're moving on, so we're selling this today. Do I have any more bids? One bid here, thank you. I've got a bid there. We've got one more here. Yes, we have one more bid. We have a bid here. Do we have any more final bids?
This isn't about just selling one property. It's about getting a better result for our clients. So we can help them with their next property, the one after that, and the one after that.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding.
It's really helped our kids to have more opportunities.
Gaining the extra funding really goes a long way to providing opportunities.
We are low on the socioeconomic index, so our students haven't got $200 when we're going away for these trips.
Students often miss out on opportunities because of the financial commitment.
More often than not, the student has to give up their sport.
With the funding from Apollo Projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions.
Your generosity has enabled us to enable these students be able to play in these sports, be able to just be the best versions of themselves.
We're really grateful, and I cannot express that enough about how and what it means to us.
Small rural school, obviously travel is an issue for us. We compete often in the Waikato competitions, and so anything that gives us an opportunity to provide sporting chances to our students is very welcomed.
We are very grateful for the funding. It's going to help a lot of our students here at Taupo High School, especially one of our students, Callum Headley. He has made the New Zealand Kia Ora team.
Callum making the New Zealand team is great for Callum and for the school, but it also provides that impetus for other students coming through to see that you can come from a small school and achieve great things.
We are very grateful to have it because it helps us out a lot with our travel and accommodation to all our tournaments.
All of those are essential things that he needs to be paid for. The biggest thing is helping his parents.
And that's thanks to support that we get from Callum Farm.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local...
Akina tangata whenua na manahiri ko taimai nei tēnei rā. People of the land and visitors who are gathered here today, no mai piki mai, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to the final of the Open Division for the New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship 2023. All right, we've got Auckland Boys Grammar playing Hillcrest High School. We're actually just waiting for the team list from Auckland Grammar. But play has started, and Auckland Grammar from Tamaki Makoto leads 1-0. And we have an up. Just a little bit too far. Gone a little bit too long. Game is to 15 in this final. First team to 8 will trigger a half time. But there is a 50-minute soft cap, which means after 50 minutes, if no team has reached 15, then we will continue to play that point. And then look at the score. We'll add 1 point onto the highest score, and that'll be the new total. That's what happened in the last game. We actually went a little bit over time, so broadcast for this one is a little bit rushed.
Auckland 1 up, Auckland Grammar one up. Auckland in the blue shirts. Remarkably similar shirts to Hillcrest, so Hillcrest to reverse their shirts, so Hillcrest in white. Nicely pulled down a pass from Will Hamilton to Finn Collins, 1-1. What's remarkable about this Hillcrest team is they are playing with 5 players. They've played with 5 players all tournament. Savage, it's called. Against a larger squad of 12 players from Auckland Grammar.
That'd pretty much be a standard size for 12. And we've spoken a lot about players playing 7 or 8 games over 2 days. Is that the fitness, they get exhausted, you get tired. But imagine doing that with plain Savage with no subs and still make the final.
Hillcrest have done very well. They've got 2 key players that play at a representative level, both at under 20. I know one of them plays at under 20 and under 24 level. That's Finn Collins. Nice throw from Grammar. From, I think it was number 9 that threw it, Jacob Woodward.
To Troy Craddock.
Troy Craddock catching it nicely in the end zone. That was a very easy goal.
It was a nice degree of separation. He's got some speed.
Yes, he does.
Teddy.
So I know that the coach of the Grammar team will be looking to take advantage of an opposition team that's only got no subs.
Well, if you can run them deep and long,
yep.
The more you make them run, the time 50 minutes comes up, the tighter they'll be. And that's the whole game. If you want to lose your defensive player, you'll get that, and you've got a good handler, you'll get free for that pass.
So just back in position, Auckland Grammar 2-0 up, or 2-1 up, sorry. Putting it up long, looks like that might drift out the back, and it does. The catching player there losing sight of where the back of the end zone was. So back in possession by Auckland Grammar, they'll be happy with that. And if we look at their cutting technique, they will be using their speed, constant movement to keep Hillcrest busy, try and tire them out. Long put there into the end zone. Another easy goal there.
Number 5, Lima.
Number 5, Ethan Craddock. And I think it was number 9, Jacob Woodward again, that threw that disc down there.
Auckland, ke mua te kotahi. 2 up, 3-1.
Now you can see here. Usually, coaches will want every player to be chasing the disc, every defensive player. Not a lot of chase going on by the Hillcrest team. And look, that's totally understandable, given that they've only 5 of them, and this is their 7th game of the tournament, playing to their strength of handler movement between those two guys at the back. So you'll see person with the disc there now at the moment, Will Hamilton, and the receiver now, Finn Collins, playing the disc most of the time. I think that's Nico Buller with the disc there, but that disc going a little bit long.
From what I've seen of the play in previous games from Hillcrest, I think possibly because they've only got 5 players, they certainly try and play smart. You can with the skill and knowledge, there are some shortcuts you can take, possibly hedging off your defensive player, so you don't have to do so much running to conserve that energy, knowing that there's no subs.
Yep. So Auckland Grammar back in control. Auckland Grammar, of course, being I'm not sure how many titles they have won, but a large number of boys open titles that they have won over the years. Just a little bit out of reach, out of the back of the end zone, and the receiving player not quite able to catch up with it. So Auckland Grammar would have the most titles of any of the open, the teams playing in the open division. I'm not sure how many there are, but of course having a very experienced coach there, Mr. Buckingham.
Warren, yep.
Warren.
Who's coached right through to the national team?
He has, yes. So he doesn't just coach the Auckland Grammar team, he also coaches the Open under-20 team as well for many years. So I think Warren has been here every year of the 10 years. There's a few of us that have. I think there's Warren, myself, and Ian have been here every year.
There'll be Ian Stewart, who's the Kai Whakahaere kaupapa, the organiser of this tournament. Got a little breeze, left to right breeze. You can see by the flags that are fluttering. If you get that angle on that disc up a little bit, it is going to hold up in the air.
Oh, lovely defence, defensive effort that time by Nico Bula, forcing the turnover. So possession back with Hillcrest.
Yeah, Ian's pretty much organised this tournament single-handedly. He's the CEO of NZU, New Zealand Ultimate, which is basically 6 volunteer board members who just help take their turn to help guide New Zealand Ultimate and support Ultimate in the regions and the schools. And this is an awesome tournament in its 10th year.
Yes, it was ably helped by Riley Van Terhout, who was going to be tournament director, but unfortunately took a bit of a knock at last week's Open New Zealand Nationals and didn't make it up here for the tourney this week.
You're doing a good job on keeping the seat warm. You'd normally be up here.
Yes. Sorry, Riley.
We wish Riley all the best. Kia kaha.
So possession back with Hillcrest. They'll be looking to sort of just quietly move it between the two handlers. Will now looking to sort of run down the line to get that disc. Let's wait. No, back centred again. Grammar be happy with that, just keeping them, pushing them back. A couple of metres each pass. No options downfield.
Always looking long.
Yes, Finn will be looking for long. There's a
nice pickup.
Deftly picked up and contact avoided. That was a beautiful piece of footwork. But nicely intercepted that time by Finlay Armstrong from Grammar. And then Finlay passing easily down to Ethan Craddock to score. So Auckland Grammar going 4-1 up. So you can see the two strengths, the strengths of the different of the teams. Auckland Grammar do have some very experienced players. I know number 10, Noah Hayes.
Noah Hayes, yep.
Little Noah.
As opposed to Big Noah.
As opposed to Big Noah.
Noah Chenery.
So with the disc on disc at the moment, I know he plays at under 20 level. So they do have a bit of depth in the team and experience. And they've got a wider squad of 7 subs, so they can actually they can afford to sort of keep the pace of this game going, as opposed to the strength of the Hillcrest team being their two main handlers.
Mamu and long forehand went there.
Nicely picked up by a number 1, Tana Giles. But he was out and accepted that he was out and accepted that he was out, so it's a turnover. So back in Auckland Grammar's hands.
Running a vertical stack.
Yep, they are running a vertical stack. Oh, but nicely intercepted by Finn Collins, so that's a turnover. Back with Hillcrest. So Will with the cap on. Back to Collins. They're looking for options in the end zone. If they don't see any options, they'll just 1-2 it quietly to each other.
You've got two very experienced Kai Kokiris there, the handlers.
Ooh, that was at grass top level.
Nice.
But managed
number
to
1 again.
Throw a hammer. Yeah, that was down to
Tana Giles.
Tana Giles. Nicely pulled in. So that was a throw we didn't see anything of yesterday in the wind.
Would have been in the lake.
It would have been in the lake. It would have been blown away, well away. So a good throw to make in calm conditions if you've got that throw in your arsenal. Gets it over the top of all the defenders.
I'm actually really impressed with how little movement Hillcrest are doing. They're conserving their energy. Most other teams in these, they'll have very fast cuts, cut back and whatnot. Hillcrest are very measured, but choosing the right time just to get free enough, and they've got the kaikokiri with enough skill there to get in the disc.
Yes, yes.
Big pull.
Out the back.
Kume. Hand goes up, so that'll restart.
Restart, so just a few metres too far. Restart back on the brick mark. The X marks the spot.
Which was just to the left of centre there. We've got a Hillcrest player standing there ready to play defence on it. Blue cross on the field. Certainly.
Couldn't quite pull that disc down.
It's a good challenge.
It was a good challenge. So I think it's Nico there forcing putting pressure on the defender. Got up, the offensive player got up hugely high.
Yes.
Oh, but nicely turned over in the end zone, in the red zone there by Grammar.
There's a
They'll be looking
deflection.
to take advantage of that quickly. They do a throw from to Ethan Craddock. I think it was from Jacob Woodward who pushed that throw down there. So it was number 9, Jacob Woodward made the throw. Nicely defended it. That was number 1, Miles Hutchison, that actually pushed that disc down defensively and forced the turnover.
Nice cut and good look from Jacob.
Yep. So some good teamwork by the wider squad of Grammar. You can hear the names that I'm calling from Auckland Grammar. It's a different name every play. So they've got a wide squad. They don't rely totally on 1 or 2 players. They've got a deeper squad. And Hillcrest looking to just use their 5 players and see what they can do. 5-2 Auckland Grammar over Hillcrest.
Kume goes up. Good distance. They may get a couple of passes in before. No, get one pass in before Grammar defence establishes position on them. That's the advantage of a nice floaty Kume that gives the defensive time to get up on them. Here we go. Going up.
Bit of a hip check there.
Yeah.
But, nothing called. So Finn Collins signalling to his receiver, head down to that back corner please, and I'll put it down there for you. Receiver takes off. Couldn't quite catch up with the disc though.
A big part of any contact is actually whether it would have affected someone's play and ability to reach the disc.
Yes.
And that was heading out anyhow.
Nice put down and easy goal.
Very good.
Scored by Max Heather.
Up to Ono for Auckland. Okay, Mua Mate Fa over Hillcrest.
Miles Hutchison putting that disc. Lovely pass from Miles down to Max Heather. So it's a good combination that they worked through there. Backhand, a nice easy backhand, slightly turned inside out just to sort of make sure that the wind didn't take it away. You can see it turning inside out, the wind flattening it. Beautiful throw. Uh, 6-2 to Grammar over Hillcrest.
Hillcrest running a vertical stack.
Yeah,
2 handlers to the right.
The Grammar coach should be happy with that bit of defence, stopping that up the line move.
Pushing them back to their game.
See the defensive player from Grammar, number 1. And then the
Miles
defensive player,
Hutchinson.
number 9, now stopping that 1-2 movement up the line. So Mr. Warren Buckingham has obviously said, no, I don't want any of those line cuts. Push them back, don't care about that.
Oh, good.
So
Good
keep
pressure.
pushing them back, that's good.
Is that Jacob on defence?
Yep, we're happy with that. That's Jacob Woodward on defence. And number 1, Miles Hutchison from Grammar. Oh, a nice throw through the middle. Haven't seen a lot of that from the two handlers. We've seen a fair bit of that, throwing down to Tana Giles, and just went up the back of the end zone. So Auckland Grammar have effectively blocked out the two handlers from controlling the game. Unfortunately, that long disc just went a little bit too long. So Auckland Grammar, yes, on defence have stopped the 1-2 play of the two handlers in the Hillcrest team. Let's just watch that strategy again. So I think they've still got the same two defensive handlers, number 1 Miles Hutchison and number 9 Jacob Woodward on the disc. So they'll be looking to centre it, and then number 9 stopping, making sure that Finn doesn't run up the line. So a backward pass that they're allowing.
Looking for that security into a Kai Kokoti. Back to a handler.
Yeah, back to Finn Collins, who made a slight 1 metre gainer, but back again, forced back again. You see number 9's defensive position there, stopping the cut up the line. But nicely pulled down anyway.
Tana Giles.
Number 17. I think that's number 17 that pulled that down. Nico Buller.
Let's see if we can see how he got separation. He did a cut up field. This is the battle over the goal line.
Yeah, we're gonna score that to Nico. Two offensive players there. This is for the stat sheet, is who scored this goal.
Yes.
Oh, perhaps it was Tana.
Maybe having two hands on it.
Two hands
compared
control.
to one, whether it's Nico.
Yeah.
I think they're happy to take the goal anyhow.
They'll take the goal anyway. It's a moot point.
But Tana's cut, he headed upfield towards the handler. His defender went with him, and then that sudden change of direction, he went long, and that got the initial separation.
It did, yes.
The handler saw it, and he put it. It was a nice put.
So Grammar back in possession, still up 6-3. Grammar in good control, really, of the game. Nice throw up to Max Heather, who scores in the corner. 7-3.
Yep, Auckland Kimua Mate Wha.
And the throw by Toby Fleming. Nice throw, Toby.
Interesting, the Māori word for throw is few. And I remember that as because if I throw a pass and it actually gets to the receiver, it's few. Few. That got there.
And what's your Te Reo background, Mark?
I'm Ngāti Pākehā, but I started learning te reo at Te Whare o Tūtahi Tonu, which was at Teachers College a long time ago, back in my teaching days. That's a lovely language to learn. Yeah, and just teaching it in schools,
right?
As part of primary schools.
Yes.
So when taha Māori, tikanga Māori, part of the syllabus. I'm actually looking in the 80s in the growth of that.
Wow! So you're at the leading edge of the what I would call the Te Reo movement.
In terms of education, yes, it's come a long way since then, and even better. I think of the how proud we are, and like how proud we are. Just things like the haka of our Māori sports people, but I think. And I think our tourists absolutely love diving into that culture, and I think the more I learn about it, and I'm learning all the time,
yes.
The more I enjoy it. And as a society, I think it's fantastic. We're a very multicultural society, but Te Reo is a national language.
Yes. So another goal there to Auckland Grammar, and that Auckland Grammar take the half, scored by Max Heather. So that's half time.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
Having this funding, being able to use it specifically targeting sport and to promote sport in schools is hugely beneficial.
Sport's huge in our community. If you have a look at our wall in there, we get a lot of New Zealand sports reps come out of the area, so it's really important they have that outlet to come to kura for another reason other than curriculum, and for some reason in our water our kids just breathe sport, and having that resource here makes life that much more enjoyable and they can keep doing what they're good at.
There's so much learning that you can achieve through sport, whether that's your relationships, your mental, physical well-being.
I just want to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for first of all taking the initiative and supporting schools like ours.
It's nice to know that what's happening out on our farms is going to come back to our rural communities and be spent on the students here at Kilpil College.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome back to the final of the Open Division for the New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship. Hillcrest versus Auckland. Nice intercept.
Number one.
There by Tana Giles.
Recentering back to Will, who puts it long. Unusual move here with Finn Collins running long. Went out the back though, so too much lunch today, Will.
Auckland leading 8-3 over Hillcrest.
Hillcrest have done a sterling job here. You have to admire them for backing themselves, turning up with 5 players and managing to get through to the final. Of course, the quality of the players is pretty jolly good. But running all weekend, all 2 days, and then Grammar scores there. Number 6 pulling it down. That's Finlay Armstrong. Well caught by Finlay.
We were talking earlier, Mike, about possible strategies for playing against a team with only 5, and it was to make him run.
Yes.
And certainly watch these 2 runners head to the left of the screen now. Just get that separation. The Hillcrest defenders have to follow.
They do.
So it's a sprint. In this case, it was unsuccessful, but there's no subs for Hillcrest High.
Yep.
I really take my hat off to them playing a whole tournament savage.
And then also the defensive strategy of trying to cut down the gainers that the 2 handlers are making with those up the line cuts. So Grammar have successfully stopped those cuts. So the 2 handlers are looking downfield. There's very little sort of gainers, or they make a gain occasionally through Tana. And often what they'll be doing is then looking for that long throw, which, it paid off on that occasion. They managed to sort of pull it in, I think. Yes, they did. Finn Collins trying to get down there. And I think that is number 17, was it, Nico? Yeah,
That's
Nico.
a good put, isn't it? He had speed, and actually if the defender had got closer, he still had height over him. I think he may give a little hand signal there indicating that he had a possible mismatch.
So 9-4 Grammar over Hillcrest. We're at 27 minutes in.
Hillcrest with the Kume going from left to right. Number 11, Finn Collins. Here we go.
A little bit of a breeze from left to right. So that'll be a northerly line.
That's a nice pull.
That was a lovely pull. Difficult to catch those angled pulls.
There's a competition.
And
oh no, I think we've got a call. See those hands, forearms together with the crosses. Just give an indication.
so a foul called. I saw the shaking of the head by Tana. So not contested, so it's a Grammar retains possession of the disc. They'll be looking to keep control and not panic. And not panic is what they did. Troy Craddock scoring in the corner.
Nice reach.
Yes. Grabbed that well and controlled his feet.
And his defender was this time was higher, was taller than he was. So
the thrower of that disc, I think, was Sam Edgington. It was Sam Edgington that threw that disc.
So Nico pointing out that he had height over when he scored the previous one, but he had height over that offensive player too. And but it didn't quite work out.
10-4 Auckland Grammar up over Hillcrest.
Everyone's a bit tired at the moment. A bit slow moving around. We've got a vertical stack there. We've got two handlers to the right and the other three players lined up vertically up the field, as you can see. And here, and their defenders are standing close by. They're trying to mark them. It'll be interesting to see where the first cut. Cut comes from the back. But the two handlers, nice. And they're going long. It's hanging. It's competition in the air. It's going.
Oh, lovely tip-off. Gave a few inches away, that defensive player. This is number...
Timed his jump very well.
Beautifully. Look at the height mismatch there, but with the timing of the jump, getting up early and slightly tipping it off.
Number 4.
Number 4. Cooper McCone. That very good defence by Cooper McCone there.
Kapai Cooper.
Boy, couldn't quite hold on to that bullet throw.
It was a rocket, wasn't it?
It was. Hillcrest back with possession on the defensive line. So that was the movement that Grammar were trying to stop. And cut up the line. Back with Finn. Across to Nico. Back to Finn. That was a good gainer up the middle of the field. And looking for that inside-out throw. That was a lovely throw to Will Hamilton. Finn Collins trying to do it all on his own.
Bit of support there even from other teams.
Yeah, support
good
from
to see.
The sideline, the crowd. Nice inside out. So he waited that inside out so the forehand would drift from left to right where Will was running.
Mamua Roa. Nice long forehand.
10-5. Auckland Grammar over Hillcrest. Hillcrest High School. Slight breeze going from left to right. Excellent playing conditions. Doesn't get much better than this. Light breeze. Sunshine. Warm but not hot. I don't know what it is out there, sort of 16, 18 degrees, something like that. And Auckland Grammar scoring nicely in the corner.
Good pick, 17.
17 degrees?
Yep.
I know my weather. So that was an Ethan Craddock to Finley Armstrong combination there. I think. Yeah. Up to number 5, Ethan Craddock.
Oh, nice view. He had 2 options.
6, Finley Armstrong scoring the goal in the end.
2 clear targets at either end of that zone.
11-5. This, make a prediction. This game might go to 15 rather than a time cap. Okay, the points are being scored reasonably quickly. Not a lot of turnovers between points. Pushed back nicely by the Auckland Grammar defender, Ethan Craddock. That's good defence, pushing the players back further.
Looking for a handler to give it back to.
Maybe Fluming on the mark there, forcing the disc across to the other sideline. Now Auckland will be wanting to pin them on that sideline. Yes, nicely stopping that up the line cut by Jacob Woodward. And then sure enough, Finn let's go with a bomb down the other end, and it's pushed out of bounds by I think that's number 6, Finley Armstrong, who timed his jump beautifully.
Play will restart on the goal line.
Just been brought back in by Auckland Grammar, who immediately sort of set it off with a long throw. Nicely pulled down by Sam Edgington.
Open options.
And Sam easily throwing that into Finley Armstrong.
Good spirit, the Hillcrest player congratulating Auckland Grammar on the goal.
Yes, you'd have to say that Auckland Grammar it would be difficult for them to. You'd be surprised if they did anything but win this game. Just looking at the amount of energy that the Hillcrest team have left in their tanks, not running away with it. So 12-5. But just looking at the energy levels left from Hillcrest, I don't think they can overcome. My prediction is I don't think they can overcome the greater depth that Grammar have.
Yeah, but I'm incredibly impressed with Hillcrest. They're still smiling, they're still playing hard, still having fun. But it's been a long tournament for those 5 guys.
I think that one's going to go at the back. Just a little bit too long. I've done well, Hillcrest, working through. I've seen they've had a couple of injuries that they've pulled up on, but they've managed to sort of work through those and work with what they've got.
Just a note, a little bit confusing the end lines. We're playing to the blue lines on the field. I know it's a little bit discombobulating that we've got a white line through each of the end zones. That's, of course, because I think they were playing the National Under-20 Rugby champs here last week.
Right. Nicely intercepted there by Jaden Coley from Hillcrest. Look in the end zone, see what's happening. Nothing happening, so centred back to Will. Back through to Jaden Coley. Fumbled back into the middle.
And actually, that's a rarity, isn't it, from the handlers from Hillcrest?
Yep. 50-50 throw into the air, and it drifted out, unfortunately, for Grammar.
Little Noah Hayes, saw the opportunity to go long.
And again, just see the flag there on the right there, the Bailey's flag. Starting to billow a bit in the wind. So the wind's flowing from northerly today, so flowing from left to right. Oh, there's the camera looking the other opposite direction, so they're flowing back to front there. Yeah, so there is a bit of a wind picking up from left to right. So Auckland Grammar throwing into the wind now. Be looking to their coach will be looking to sort of play some good ultimate to sort of control it, and the wind holding that disc up. That was a strong throw, but the wind held that disc up, pulled down by Andy Huang in the end zone.
Auckland Tacoma Toru 13 and Hillcrest on 5. I think as this game's gone on, Hillcrest battery's running a little bit lower, and getting Auckland Grammar finding it a little bit easier to get that separation.
Oh, that's indeed exactly what's happening. The separation, and Auckland Grammar being able to see that separation and take advantage of it.
Finn Collins there showing some great spirit. Even he was applauding Auckland Grammar's point.
So a pull by Jacob Woodward. Nice, just into the end zone. Two Hillcrest handlers trying to sort of work that back up. Not giving them that up the line cut. Auckland Grammar, tick marks from the coach, thank you. And Auckland forcing the turnover by forcing the two handlers to throw it up the middle and not able to bring it down. So Jacob Woodward walking back to the disc, looking for control. Nice cut there, just towed the disc in. That's Troy Craddock, and nice pass across to little Noah Hayes. So 14-5, that's match point, 40 minutes into it, so we're not going to hit any soft caps. This is one of the few games this weekend.
Yes.
No, this week, I should say, the last 2 days of this tournament. Nice pass was from Jacob Woodward across to Noah Hayes to score. Lovely little celebratory dance.
Has passion and a plucky spirit, although I don't think he'll put that on his highlights reel.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, some people would like that. Put a little hula dress on it, and that would be some dance. Auckland Grammar within one of taking out this National Secondary Schools champs. So you can see the move here is a throw down to Will in the end zone. Didn't quite come off.
It would have been impressive. 1 against 2.
Yeah. Good work from the two Grammar defenders, both of them chasing it all the way down. I love that as a coach to see not just one defender down there, but two players racing to sort of contest that disc. That's what coaches love. Sorry, I didn't get their numbers. Warren, make sure you give those two a chocolate fish in your team debrief for great work chasing that disc and forcing the turnover. Ultimate's a game of D. You can't win if you don't have the disc. You've got to force those turnovers. Auckland Grammar back in possession. Nice throw. Nice throw. And just tipped down. There's the crowd there.
Oh, there's a break. Can't quite send it though. Good defence.
Very good defence. Well drilled, this team. They know what they're doing, Auckland Grammar. And force a turnover.
Troy Haddock giving it all on defence. I mean, there's a certain degree of skill and knowledge to it, but a lot of it's effort, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yep, that is all effort. You've got to be committed on defence. You've got to put that effort in there. That inside-out throw attempt by Auckland Grammar didn't quite pay off. Easily defended by Hillcrest. And Hillcrest turnover. Auckland Grammar looking to sort of jam it into the far corner. Can't quite pull it down.
Jacob Woodward, he put his hand up because he knew there was some space over to the left.
Hard throw to make across the field with the curve of the disc going with the...
Going wrong again. Oh, I think they overbaked it.
Yeah, you can see that wind on that flag there. Push that disc out the back of the end zone. Number 5, Ethan Craddock bringing the disc up to... What happened there? I didn't see any hand signals there. Did you see any hand signals?
No.
Not sure what happened there. Was there a stall? I didn't think they had that disc that long. Anyway, something happened down the other end of the field that we weren't quite onto.
Grammar are coming back with certainly a tuku. It's a turnover. Grammar coming back with possession right on the goal line. Very hard to defend. Going long again.
Must have gone with a
nice pick up.
That's the ball game. Pick up by nice catch by Troy Craddock. 15-5. That's it, folks. That's the ball game.
Congratulations to
Auckland Grammar.
Auckland Boys Grammar, National Secondary Schools Champion 2023. And hats off to Hillcrest for a gutsy campaign and a gutsy effort. But there's been been able to see some great ultimate. Mike?
Yeah, that was your hats off to Hillcrest. But the depth of Auckland Grammar came through in the end.
Finn Collins puts his hands up, and most of the crowd appreciate the sentiment. Everyone fights for the underdog. If you come into a tournament like this with only five players and you're self-coaching, you're an underdog. But well coached by Auckland Grammar. They certainly gave Westlake Boys a bit of a run. But we'll leave you there. Ka kite anō everyone, and we'll see you soon for the Women's Open Final.
From us, it's a huge thank you to New Zealand Carbon Farming. Certainly the opportunities and the sponsorship that's been provided is pretty crucial for our school.
We're buying new volleyball gear, so volleyball nets, balls and the stands to attach the volleyball nets to the floor.
New Zealand Carbon Farming sponsorship, we've used it to purchase some table tennis tables, which give our students an extra activity to be involved in during lunch times, allows them to keep active and enjoy their school day a little bit more.
Thank you New Zealand Carbon Farming for giving us these tables.
We've got some really good table tennis players in the school. I can see it actually growing into a slightly more competitive sport for our students as well.
We'd just like to thank you from Taupo High School. See you.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this downtown apartment is the perfect first property. Our vendors have a new baby, they're moving on, so we're selling this today. Do I have any more bids? One bid here, thank you. I've got a bid there. We've got one more here. Yes, we have one more bid. We have a bid here. Do we have any more final
This
bids?
isn't about just selling one property. It's about getting a better result for our clients, so we can help them with their next property, the one after that, and the one after that.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding.
It's really helped our kids to have more opportunities. Gaining the extra funding really goes a long way to providing opportunities.
We are low on the socioeconomic index, so our students haven't got $200 when we're going away for these trips.
Students often miss out on opportunities because of the financial commitment.
More often than not, the student has to give up their sport.
With the funding from Apollo Projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions.
Your generosity has enabled us to enable these students be able to play in these sports, be able to just be the best versions of themselves.
We're really grateful, and I cannot express that enough about how and what it means to us.
As a small rural school, obviously travel is an issue for us. We compete often in the Waikato competitions, and so anything that gives us an opportunity to provide sporting chances to our students is very welcomed.
We are very grateful for the funding. It's going to help a lot of our students here at Taupo High School, especially one of our students, Callum Headley. He has made the New Zealand Kia Ora team.
Callum making the New Zealand team is great for Callum and for the school, but it also provides that impetus for other students coming through to see that you can come from a small school and achieve great things.
We are very grateful to have it because it helps us out a lot with our travel and accommodation to all our tournaments.
All of those essential things that he needs to be paid for. The biggest thing is helping his parents.
And that's thanks to support that we get from Carbon Farming.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
We found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
small rural school, obviously travel is an issue for us. We compete often in the Waikato competitions, and so anything that gives us an opportunity to provide sporting chances to our students is very welcomed.
We are very grateful for the funding. It's going to help a lot of our students here at Tikuti High School, especially one of our students, Callum Headley. He has made the New Zealand Kia Rahi team.
Callum making the New Zealand team is great for Callum and for the school, but it also provides that impetus for other students coming through to see that you can come from a small school and achieve great things.
We are very grateful to have it because it helps us out a lot with our travel and accommodation to all our tournaments.
All of those essential things that he needs to be paid for. The biggest thing is helping his parents.
And that's thanks to support that we get from Carbon Farm.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding.
It's really helped our kids to have more opportunities. Gaining the extra funding really goes a long way to providing opportunities.
We are low on the socioeconomic index, so our students haven't got $200 when we're going away for these trips.
Students often miss out on opportunities because of the financial commitment.
More often than not, the student has to give up their sport.
With the funding from Apollo Projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions.
Your generosity has enabled us to enable these students be able to play in these sports, be able to just be the best versions of themselves.
We're really grateful, and I cannot express that enough about how and what it means to us.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
Kina tangata whenua, people of the land and manahiri, the visitors, kua tai mai nei, who are gathered here. I tēnei rā, today, no mai piki mai, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to the 2023 final for the New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship in the Women's Division. Today we have in our final, we have Epsom Girls Grammar, coming up against Takapuna Girls Grammar. Both teams from Tamaki Makaurau from Auckland. It should be an exciting game. Certainly, Epsom girls come with some good firepower. They've got Hannah Clark, a fine Kai Kiri handler, who along with Tessa Swinson, Georgia Brown and Georgia Lewis represented New Zealand in the Under-20 World Ultimate Frisbee Championships last year, and they're fresh off competing with in the New Zealand champs last week, club champs playing for Misfits. So very experienced players. They know how each other moves. They've been played together for a long time and making those connections. It should be a game, a good game today. Call Mark Stevenson aho, and I'm joined today by Zaria Island, bit of a national legend for Ultimate. Kia ora, Z.
ko Zaya Tokuingoa, no Tamaki Makoto aho. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Really excited to be joining you up in the booth today for what should shape up to be a pretty competitive final. Like you said, Epsom girls with that depth of experience in their team, with a few young ones, Lila Cook as well, Elsa and Bella Innes as well. They've got a good balance of experience and development in there, but every player showing through. And coming up against Takapuna, we see the likes of McNamara and Carter down there, number 5 and 7, who both are seasoned professionals of the Takapuna side, if you can call them that. They're a young team, but have been playing a while, so we should definitely see some good matchups in this final. I think Takapuna should be looking to shut down that the Nikihanga Kōpai, that quick disc movement that Epsom girls have, as well as their long looks with such a reliable handler in the backspace like Hannah Clark and Georgia Brown. They are capable of putting up long shots, but also that small ball as well. On the other side, Takapuna, again, looking up for those big shots. We've seen Carter, that connection between Briar Carter and Isla Sweetman we've seen in the previous games, especially on the live stream. See them getting hyped up in their circle there. They'll really be looking to utilise that deep space, and we'll see a lot of defensive pressure come through from both teams. I think the key here will be defence. Both teams have pretty well-drilled offences, so a lot of that Arai Pehi, that big defensive pressure to generate turns and get blocks.
Both teams been receiving last-minute instruction from their coaches before they head out. Of course, it's 5-a-side. It's the first team to reach 15. Although we, in the first team, as soon as one team reaches 8, that will trigger a half-time. But we've got a soft cap of 50 minutes. Both teams just swapping ends.
See the handshakes as they go across. And players like McNamara and Carter, who were also on the training squad for the U20s program last year, will know most of those Epsom girls, those key Epsom girls players as well. So this should be a really well-spirited game, but also those players knowing a little bit about how the other team plays as well. So it should make for some exciting matchups. We see Kopi, Clark, Lewis, Swinson taking the line, as well as I think Georgia Brown for the Epsom girls side. And likewise we have Sweetman, Madsen Bruff, McNamara, Gemma Leithley and Briar Carter taking the on the line for the Takapuna side, looking like they're coming out on offense. Georgia Brown with the disc, looking like she'll be putting up the kume, the pull. Supporters in the crowd getting hype. We've got quite a few people in the stands ready for a final, which is awesome to see. Other schools supporting. We just offer a pretty lively final from between Hillcrest and Ags.
First kume goes up. It's a long one. Wide field conditions for
easily
ultimate.
by Briar. Swings downfield to Leithley. Just through the hands of Sweetman from Briar there. Epsom girls looking to just pass halfway. Clark picking up the disc. Big few Papakas. Swing to Georgia Brown, who looks down the line for Tessa Swinson. Georgia Brown. Couple fakes. Colby with safe hands. Brown with the continuation up the line.
Right on the goal line. They may want to centre this. Oh no, they'll look for a cut. Nice.
Jamming it in the jam hole. Brown finds Clark, a connection that has we've seen club level and at world's level as well. Just the trust in those players for that safe hands.
So Epsom girls can mua mā te kotahi, up by 1 with an early lead.
Such a tiny space. Madsen Bruff with a great bid there, but Clark just whakataiapa, boxing her out, giving her no chance to get there cleanly. Epsom girls break for the first point of the final. And it looks like the same line is staying on. Brown with disc in hand. Clark, Swinson, Colby and Lewis. Looking to get Epsom girls off to a strong start. And we've you said about those Epsom girls players playing in Poland last year in the World Junior Ultimate Championships. Colby herself is representing New Zealand at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in football last year in India. So a cross-code specialist herself. Big kume goes up from Georgia Brown. And caught by Breyer. Goes downfield to Leithley. Finds Madsen Bruff. Nice pressure there from Colby. Kicks the disc away. Seeing some of that cross-code coming through. Doing whatever it takes to get the D.
Well, any deflection, it's actually not a tuku or a turnover until it's hit the ground. So the last thing you want is it hovering in the ground and actually the other team being able to pick it up.
Exactly. Colby on the disc. Brown looking to give it reset. Pops it through. Some
Good
ankle-breaking cuts from Brown. Goes up the line to Colby again. A great score there, Niki Hangakopai. That disc movement from Epsom girls really hard to shut down, but again, that Arai Pehi, that defensive pressure, Colby forced to go over the top, but just that trust in their teammates, Mark.
It's fantastic.
Carter there, inches away from the D. Opts for the push pass over the top. For a cross-code athlete, she certainly has adapted to Frisbee well, Colby has.
Well, if you think of those same skills in terms of agility, in terms of speed, sudden change of direction, having to lose a defensive player so you get free, and finding space would all be natural in both sports.
Oh, 100%. They're both, Frisbee and football are both kind of invasion sports as well, in that you have to get into an opposition half and score a goal. And the aerobic demand on your body is actually pretty similar between the two sports. A lot of that intermittent, fast-cutting, stop-start movement. So we see a lot of Swinson actually and Brown also playing football or used to play football. So that fitness comes across really well here in this instance.
Only problem is in football, if you use your hands, you get in trouble.
Exactly. Brown with a huge pull. Just fades out of bounds. Carter with the hand up to signal a brick.
So a kume like that's gone out. They've got the choice of either taking it where it crossed the line or on the brick, which is that blue cross in the field that she's heading for.
Just where Carter is now.
Yeah.
Clark on the mark. Finds Bruff. Under pressure, McNamara looking downfield for Emmy Bright, but Deed there. Elsa Murray coming through with the D.
Running a vertical stack.
Clark.
Two handlers to the left.
A big Fiupapak, a big swing to Georgia Brown. McNamara forcing forehand. Those two working together well. Looking up the line for Lila Cook.
Possibly looked off there. Was open. Maybe the defence was a little bit too tight. Maybe good control.
Just under the hands of Georgia Brown. Clark using her fakes on the disc to communicate with Brown and tell her, no, I don't want you there. I want you somewhere else. And Brown went up the line. Unfortunate she couldn't bring that in. Jada Sorokaya on the disc. Big few Bapaka for McNamara.
Nice intercept.
Reading the play well, comes through cool as you like and dumps it to Brown for an easy score.
That transition from defence to offence.
Exactly.
If you look at it here, as soon as they've got that intercept, as soon as they've got it,
Brown moved straight away. McNamara had really no chance to get there.
but Takagramma was still down on offence and further up the field. There were no defenders back, which is quite often you can take advantage of that when you have that tuku.
Oh, exactly. Hannah Clark showing that experience of playing at that international level. Just reading that play, she's clearly stolen the Takapuna Grammar playbook. They're looking for that swing, that few pāpaka. Easy swing, but shut down. Carter just out of position a little bit. Epsom girls now, Keimu Mate. Toru up by 3. Takapuna yet to get on the board, but Mark, we are in the early stages of the game, and as we've seen in the semi-final from before, Takapuna overcame, I think, scored 6 points in a row to get through to beat Hutt Valley on Universe and make it to the finals. So there is no lack of fight in this team. Carter swings to Bright.
Yeah, I believe they were down by 5 or 6, and then it
Big forehand
turned it
goes
around.
up.
It's amazing how sometimes it can swing like that, the momentum, the feeling within the team, and things just feel freer and they tend to work because the team thinks we've got this.
Exactly.
With success. It comes with success when the passes start hitting.
Exactly. Just a bit of a load this there from Swinson. Just off the hands of Vandridge. Carter with that signature high release forehand, looking for Madsen Bruff.
That's a big Mamua, wasn't it? Big forehand.
Carter is definitely a threat from the handler space. That high release flick is so hard to defend. Bright looking to get a piece of that disc there.
Good defense.
Looking downfield for Kolpe with a marmor with a forehand. But Taka just in the way. Carter. You know she's gonna try and look big, and there it is. A massive forehand goes up, looking for Bruff. Swinson though, commonly called the Roof.
The Roof,
or arguably the best Swinson. Whakatai up, boxes out well there to really give Madsen Bruff no chance of getting the disc.
But named the Roof for her aerial game.
Exactly.
When she wants to go vertical.
Because she absolutely roofs players. Nikahanga caught by disc movement from Epsom girls here. Advancing down the field quickly. Unfortunately, just out of the hands of Craddock, whose two brothers, actually, Troy and Ethan, just won the men's final. So she's looking to bring home a same-coloured medal too. Carter looking downfield, not much developing. She's got an open swing, but she puts up the massive forehand. Swinson eats that on up. Nice big few pāpaka to Thantridge. Emmy Bright coming through with the D. Craddock couldn't quite get her hands on it. Carter again. Looking for cuts to develop. Just out of the reach of McNamara. Lewis, a big great thrower in her own right.
And she hauled that one in.
Ripped down by Kolpe. Really showing the athleticism there. Georgia Lewis, ever the sweetheart, almost says sorry for getting that D, then throws up a bomb to Lara Kolpe, who reels that one in.
Nice.
Carter had a great bid there.
Nice vertical, 2 hands on the disc. Cuts one way, breaks to the right.
Carter just inches away. Couldn't quite get there.
But that's where a player who may not have height in it, with good cuts, and if you've got a kai kokiri, a handler who can put that pass to where you'll be, it takes away the competition, doesn't it? Takes away the defensive competition.
You can be the fastest player on field, but some smart defense or smart cutting, both on offense and defense, can save you energy and also just make the game a little easier for yourself.
Georgia Brown with the kume.
Epsom girls asserting their dominance on this game so far. It's a repeat of the Auckland Championships finals that happened a couple weeks ago. Big outside in pull. McNamara looking to field it. Just misreads it. Now, at schools level frisbee, you are allowed to drop the pull. At other levels, a drop pull constitutes a turn. Big defensive pressure there. Elsa Murray just forcing the turn. Brown running a circle around her defender. Isla Sweetman, big arms. Leafley on Clark.
Floater, nicely put in the end.
Read well by Bella, and she spikes the disc. Epsom girls might be Keimu Mate, Rimu might be up by 5, but they are certainly not taking the foot off the pedal here.
High fives to all.
A quick Fiukomori, a quick dump, and then a big forehand across the field to find Innes. Great cut there. Throws that disc down. Breathe a sigh of relief for reining that one in. See the face paint, the blue and gold of Epsom girls, quite similar to Takapuna actually. Really getting the spirit. And I saw before the game they actually have the words, the letters Catherine, spelling the words Catherine on their stomachs in honour of their teammate Catherine Fulton, who is in the States currently playing football and couldn't make it to the secondary schools champs this weekend.
Fantastic. Which actually brings up to Wairua of the game, the spirit of the game, which is so important. And it's not just within the team, that sort of team culture, that sort of team support. You'd like to think that happens naturally. But also the relationship with other players and the other team on the field, how they relate with them.
Absolutely.
At the end of the game, we have each team will sit around and they'll actually give a score to the other team on different facets of spirit.
Yeah, exactly. There's 5 categories of spirit. So you mark them out of 4 being really good, 0 being not so good. Positive attitude and self-control, fouls and body contact, communication. See if I can remember them all. And there's 2 more.
Knowledge and use.
Rules, knowledge and use, yes, of course. And fair-mindedness.
So it's almost each team gets a little report from their opposition at the end.
Yep, exactly. And it just facilitates that sportsmanship on field, Takapuna, with a slicing forehand across the field from Gloria Crichton. Lewis is off to the races.
Epsom girls were finished second last year at the national champs. Oh, putting it up.
A big mower from Dandridge there finds the ever-reliable Kolpe in the end zone. And it's really awesome to see the development of the younger players on the team as well. You have players like Swinson, Lewis, Clark, Brown and Kolpe. They're all year 13, so they're in their last year of school. The ultimate program is quite strong at Epsom. They fielded 2 teams this year, so it's really awesome to see the younger players on the team having that confidence to put up those throws. McNamara there.
Nice.
The unicorn hat couldn't give her enough bounce to get up. She was inches away from that disc.
So last year, you're right, last year they had 2 teams in as well. Their A team finished second and their B team finished third equal. But just as importantly is that the A team was second for spirit. So we track those numbers over all the tournament. At the end of the tournament, yes, there will be a winner to whoever wins the final. But there's also an award for the most spirited team and the most spirited player. As well as we celebrate most valuable player, we also celebrate and acknowledge most spirited.
Yeah, and of course New Zealand has a history of doing quite well in spirit at World Championships. Swinson with a massive inside-out pull, fielded by Carter. She looks downfield, finds Sweetman. A massive mark there by Petrocratic. Looking to shut that down. Field Pāpaka, nice swing there. Finds Carter. Swings it down the field to Leafley. Great cut from Isla Sweetman. Coming under. Big fakes on the mark to shift her mark. Save hands from Saragaya. Kolpe putting on a lot of pressure. McNamara.
This is good.
Swinson on her back, hungry for that defence, but...
This is good retention from Takapuna.
Exactly. It's that Nikihanga Kōpai, that disc movement, safe and calm and just maintaining position. Sweetman now. Big fakes.
Yeah.
Goes over the top. Just can't quite connect. Seemed like she was running out of options there, and that's that Arai Pehi, that defensive pressure from Epsom. Kolpe's busting deep, and Lewis rewards it.
that pressure at the other end. I think the stall count may have been getting high because remember the defensive player is giving the offensive player 10 seconds to get rid of the disc. And as that count gets higher and there's no options to pass to, sometimes you just have to put one in the air and hope that either one of your team gets it or that at least the disc moves further up the field, and hopefully you can then put some defence on and get it back. Force that tuku, that turnover.
Saw Leasley there, rip that one down. Thantridge looking downfield, finds Craddock. Lara is striking up the line. Bounces off the hands, then off the hands of Swinson.
It doesn't matter who it touches, that disc is still live until it hits the ground. It can bounce off players and hands from both teams. It's who catches it at the end, who stops
Swinson
it.
just unable to rein that one in.
Who stops
Carter.
its movement?
Few Barpaka swings to Sweetman there. A great undercut from Zargaya. Looks downfield, finds McNamara. Great throw in her own right. Looks down the line for the strike cut from Sweetman. Bit of a laser, just goes out of the hands. Takapuna have really good disc movement here, Mark. They're finding each other and with good movement on the disc, but they just can't quite connect. Missing a little bit of connection. Lewis to Kopi. Kopi looking for Thantridge in the end zone, just a little bit too far.
She got good separation from this defensive player.
Yeah, we're talking about...
She comes back to the defensive player and they both give each other a high five. They acknowledge that it was a good break.
We talk about this disc movement and disc in hand, but something that's really important is that off-field movement as well. See a great cut there from Sweetman downfield. Carter puts up a floater.
Oh, well
Leafley,
read.
well read, gets underneath it.
Well, we got separation.
Sweetman.
Someone's gone long.
Nice switch there from the defense. Leafley under a bit of pressure from Thantridge. Lewis to pick up. Sends the forehand. Colby gets huge. Just off the fingertips.
Oh.
So close. We love that. High five there. Lewis just knows Colby's going to be there, so she'll put that every time. Carter to pick up. Really an offensive and defensive cornerstone on this Takapuna line, Carter is. We've seen her put that massive forehand. Sweetman going deep. Carter wants it. Finds McNamara. Huge fakes from the lefty. Swinson putting on a big mark.
Nice clean cuts out of that vertical stack too.
Just bounces off the hands of Sweetman.
Part of that's the pressure of the defence.
Exactly that. Arai Pehi. Defensive pressure.
I mean, if you can just force something that's not a natural flow. If someone has to release that disc at a different angle, a different height.
Some big few barpuckers from Swinson, Lewis, Craddock, back to Lewis, and finds Thantridge in the end zone. It's easy for Epsom girls. Takapuna just not having a chance to catch up to that Tene Nikihanga caught by that fast disc movement that we talked about at the start, Mark. Epsom girls have that deep game, but they also have such reliable throwers. Finds Lewis. Craddock with a nice find, and Lewis just pops to Thantridge, who times that cut well. Game more there. Vitu. Epsom girls up by 7-0. 20 minutes down in this game. Remember, folks, that we take, once 8 points, either team scores 8 points, we take half, as Mark said at the start of the game, which will be about a 3.5 minute break. Grab some water, re-strategize. Takapuna really needing to bring out the fire here. The deficit is a little large, but that's not to say that they are out of this match. They have overcome similar deficits before. All they need to do is just maybe tidy up a couple of those connections downfield, but with reliable handlers like Carter, we've seen McNamara with her unicorn hat on field, and those downfield receivers such as Isla Sweetman, they definitely have the depth in their team. Brown, a massive pull. Looks like it's going to roll a little. Bright picks up the disc for Takapuna. Finds Sarkaya, but looks like it was blocked by Ennis. Maybe a bit of a misthrow there. Brown picks up. Good pressure here. Feel Bāpaka. Swing goes up. Clark back to Brown. Big strike up line from Clark. Threads it through to Lila Cook. Safe hands in the end zone. That Niki Hangako by that disc movement from Epsom Girls is almost unstoppable. Brown and Clark bouncing off each other with those give-goes, striking up the line. You'll always find a reliable reliable dump in Hannah Clark. Just jukes her defender, goes up the line for the easy gainer, and Cook in the end zone stretches out and grabs that one. Big mark from Thorne there. Couldn't quite get in the way of the forehand, and Cook reins it in. Cook, one of Epsom's younger players, looking forward to seeing her development.
Well, first team 8, that triggers half time. We'll be back with you shortly. Ka kite anō.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
As a small rural school, obviously travel is an issue for us. We compete often in the Waikato competitions, and so anything that gives us an opportunity to provide sporting chances to our students is very welcomed.
We are very grateful for the funding. It's going to help a lot of our students here at Tikuti High School, especially one of our students, Callum Headley. He has made the New Zealand Kia Ōrahi team.
Callum making the New Zealand team is great for Callum and for the school, but it also provides that impetus for other students coming through to see that you can come from a small school and achieve great things.
We are very grateful to have it because it helps us out a lot with our travel and accommodation to all our tournaments.
All of those essential things that he needs to be paid for. The biggest thing is helping his parents.
And that's thanks to support that we get from Callum Farm.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding.
It's really helped our kids to have more opportunities. Gaining the extra funding really goes a long way to providing opportunities.
We are low on the socioeconomic index, so our students haven't got $200 when we're going away for these trips.
Students often miss out on opportunities because of the financial commitment.
More often than not, the student has to give up their sport.
With the funding from Apollo Projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions.
Your generosity has enabled us to enable these students to be able to play in these sports, be able to just be the best versions of themselves.
We're really grateful, and I cannot express that enough about how and what it means to us.
Tēnā koutou, kia ora koutou. Welcome back to the final for the New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championship Women's Division. Here we are at still in Taupo, in beautiful Taupo in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And myself, ko Marco, with Zaria Island here. We've just finished half time.
Kia ora koutou. Epsom girls to come out on offense after a dominant start to this final. Carter with the pull. Swings downfield to Brown. Looking for that quick disc movement between Colby on the disc now. McNamara with a big mark. Brown juking in that space. Looks like Epsom girls are running a pearl here, which is when they have two handlers back and they isolate one cutter, which is Colby, running around the field. What a juke there from Colby.
Boomfa.
Boomfa indeed. Goal signalled. Looks like it's being called in on field. And just signalling that her feet weren't on the line. If you catch the disc while your feet are on the line, that is a straddle and it counts as not in. What a jig here from Colby.
I think the discussion was, a little bit unsure about the feet were, but both players agreed. Both players put their hands up and signalled that it was a goal.
And that's just the spirit of the game there. Yeah, looks very close there, but signalled a goal on field, and that's where spirit of the game comes into play. Players happy to be like, yep, that was a goal, we think that was in.
Well, the defensive player was right there and looking at it, so she must have had the best view, better than ours. Better
So,
even than the cameraman.
Epsom girls just running a play there. It's called a pearl. We saw Brown and Clark back in that handler space, that Kai Korkiri handler space. They look for one player downfield. We saw Swinson and Lewis stretching the deep space, holding that space downfield, and letting Colby go to work. And we saw that with her big jinx. She plays in that midfielder kind of role for her at club football, so she's used to patrolling that space and just controlling it. Epsom girls now, Ennis looking like she's coming down with the kume. See McNamara, Carter on the line. Along with Bright.
Little routine from Epsom girls grammar there to signal.
Signal readiness.
Yes. Little dance move.
Carter looking for that big. She's got Thorne for an easy reset there. No mark. Finds the safe hands of McNamara. Carter is streaking deep. Stutter steps and comes back. Safe hands from Bright. Puts the disc up. What a take there from Carter.
Looking for options. Looking for cutters.
We know she's a cannon of an arm and safe throws. Just out of the hands there from McNamara. She puts her hands up.
It's a credit to Epsom's defence that Carter couldn't have an option to pass to.
Oh, exactly.
And to get a hand in that path, to get that tuku, to get that turnover.
Craddock on the disc, looks for the swing.
Oh.
Bounces off the head of McNamara.
But it didn't hit the ground.
The unicorn horn doesn't quite do enough. The early bid there from Carter on that downfield throw.
Carter
just
shaking her head.
Made the offender go early. McNamara, safe hands. Cook putting up a big mark. Not many options being generated. Only has eyes for Carter. Gets it with the upline cut. Innes on the mark. She's forcing Carter to throw a marmuri, throw a backhand. The disc goes up and reeled in. And Takapuna on the board. We hear the crowd go wild. Everyone is certainly really happy to see the underdog get on the board.
It was well deserved. There was good disc retention there, good patience, looking for good safe options.
Oh, exactly. We've seen it from Takapuna all day, that big backhand from Carter. Brought down by Carl.
High fives, high
the
tens all around.
To Bright.
Nice.
Looking for McNamara, but Carl there is the backup and then just finds an easy pass and Bright for that score in the end zone. Takapuna certainly happy to get on the board, and it's a point that they've deserved all game, Mark. They've had that, look at that, almost D there from McNamara's unicorn horn. It's a point that deserved all game. They've had some great nikahanga kōpai, that disc movement, and that quick disc movement and looking for those handler swings with Carter, someone such as Briar Carter in the back space with that cannon of a forehand she's got. They've just been missing on that one or two final passes right before the end zone, which Epsom girls have really punished.
For Emily McNamara, though, and it was perfect position for her because she got in the pathway between the pass and the receiver.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
The handler and the receiver, and that's where you want to be. She just had a quick check, even wearing the unicorn cap. Exactly. Well, it's actually a falcon in most sports, isn't it? You get a hit in the head with the ball or the disc, they call a falcon. Love the cap.
Epsom girls coming out on offense. Clark receives. Easy gainer downfield to Brown. Finds Swinson for an easy under. Carter with a big mark. Brown. Phil Papaka swings to Clark, who swings back across to Brown. Disc goes up, looking for Colby. Araya, Sweetman, defended by Sweetman there. Just in the right place, that disc going a little bit high. Colby just out of position. Slapped down by Sweetman. Takapuna now. Looking for cuts to be generated downfield. Sweetman's there. Colby has a bite, but doesn't quite get there. Sweetman with a big pivot. Oh, the fake. Colby bites on it. Swings across. Sarakaya has it now. They're being forced to throw a Marmoa, throw a forehand, and she certainly does. It goes up, but Swinson patrolling the airspace. Just goes over the top of Carter there. Lewis going downfield. His defender's under it. Madsen Bruff did just enough there. Sometimes you don't have to get a hand to the disc on defense. It's just your presence that can put the offender off, and Lewis just unable to pull that one in.
It does in any sport. If you've got a defender coming at you, it's one thing to think about.
Lots
You're
of
not
cuts
just focusing on taking the catch.
Oh, exactly. Sweetman with that fake. Gets a bite from Colby. Carter now trying to get space. Ankle breaking cuts there from Carter. Gets free of Swinson. Sweetman. Big undercut. But finds Leafley. Sweetman, what a workhorse. She's going under. She's going deep. Madsen Bruff. Good Nikahana Kopai. Good disc movement here from Takapuna. The ankle breaking jukes there from Carter. But Colby just reads the play and gets involved. Epsom girls back on offense. Brown.
Interesting here with Epsom, their reliance on Hannah Clark and Georgia Brown. They're two Kaikoa kiddies. They're handlers.
Look at this handler movement from Georgia Brown.
And there you go. Isn't it? They're handlers. They can swap between, they can look for opportunities, but there's so much security around the disc when it's within their hands.
It's so reliable downfield,
yeah.
Absolutely. Brown, just the give goes up the line. Found the few barpak of the swing. See that give go. She's throwing the Marmori, the Marmoa, sorry, and just gone again.
A nice floater. Look at
Swinson.
that.
Taking her time, just brings that one down.
Almost makes it look easy.
Almost. Takapuna, another chance to come down on offense.
Epsom girls to go. Takapuna Tahi.
Yeah, kei mua ma te iwa.
Iwa, ai.
Epsom girls up by 9, but Takapuna a point on the board.
And respect for them because they've put a few nice passes and sequences together and playing good defense. It's hard when you've got players such as Clark and Brown and Swinson, Lewis and Kolpe.
Kume coming up from Bella Innes. It's a roller. Goes past halfway. Leafley finds Madsen Bruff.
Nice chase.
Puts up the high release flick. McNamara gets under it to clean that one up. Cook, an active mark. Looks for Emmy Bright. Ankle breaking cuts, has to go up. Finds Madsen Bruff down the line. Puts up the huge forehand. Innes there. Whakatai boxes out the offender.
Delany, good control.
Dandridge finds Cook, but just through the hands. An unfortunate drop there. Cook, such a reliable receiver. Bright, looking for McNamara.
Well,
Throw goes just a little bit low.
Look at how Delany Fanridge is sticking with her defensive player. Good defence. Not even looking where the disc is at the moment, looking at where her defensive player was and not letting her out of the sight.
Exactly.
Good tight D. On that chase when that Kume was first put up, she led the chase down the field.
Exactly.
Sooner you get defence on your player, sooner you can slow down play.
Finds the Fukumani. Cook now swings to Craddock, looking downfield for Bella Innes. Just out of the hands, but this is good Nikihanga Gorpai from the Epsom girls team. We see a lot of their big names taking a break, a well-deserved break, and letting their younger players go to work downfield.
Good opportunity for Takapuna.
Big swing goes up. Murray reads the play and slaps that one to the turf. Craddock to pick up. See Epsom girls running with a vertical stack. Not much developing downfield. Needs an option. Murray takes it on the second bid. Just is not dead until it's dead. Craddock, big fakes to move her mark. She's looking for Thantridge in that as a Fukumori, as a dump. Opts to go downfield and just sends up a bit of a laser just through the hands of Innes. But good Nikihanga Gorpai. Good disc movement generated by the Epsom girls. Leithley. What a grab from McNamara. Big fakes and pivots. Cook giving her nothing to work with on the mark. Finds Carl. A little bit of stagnance downfield. Finds the Fukumori. The dump. And looks downfield for Leithley again. Big grab there. Looking for McNamara. Goes to ground. Bright. Continuing that great disc movement that we've seen from Takapuna all game. Looking for that field pāpaka, that swing across field mark. Can't quite find McNamara. Goes to ground for it. Dandridge puts up the forehand.
I think we've got a call. It's crossed arms
foul
there.
Called
foul
down
called.
And it looks like it's an uncontested foul. Great spirit there. McNamara just acknowledging that, yep, maybe I did foul you. Mātai Gorpai disc tapped in and immediately looks for the downfield option. Elsa Murray going for that deep cut, but it's a bit of a laser and goes outfield. Leithley. Massive cut there from Carl. But finds Madsen Bruff. McNamara working the unders. Safe hands, just off the hands. But we see those connections. McNamara straight on defense now. RIB, that great defensive pressure.
Nice combination.
Murray on the second effort. Eyes on the disc at all times. Reins that one in and just passes it off to Cook. Craddock. What a find here. That inside flick just off the hands of Murray, and Cook there for that easy continuation for the goal. Great work rate from the Epsom girls side there. You can really see that the development of those younger players who are going to be the future of Ultimate at Epsom and certainly of of New Zealand Ultimate. There's that development we see at the high school level, and we see it on the Takapuna side as well. There's some great talent coming through, and players like Craddock with her brothers playing in the grammar side. It's really good to see that, friends and whānau just bringing in bringing in everyone around them, involving them in the community.
Well, it is, and there's schools can change. Their school's success or what they achieved last year may not necessarily repeat the next year, because it could be a group of year 13s that were very strong and they led the team. They played together for 3 or 4 years that helped them succeed last year. They may have moved on. They may have left school, and so you've got a lot of year 10s, year 11s coming in, and it becomes a development team with teaching that. But the combination of both the older senior players in the school and the younger one, wrapped up with te wairua, the spirit of the game, and that goal of helping lift each other, really helps develop some good players, and has been really a catalyst for the growth of Ultimate in New Zealand.
Exactly. Brown with a big kume. Takapuna opting to bring it in on the sideline, not bricked. Fine Sweetman. Crichton following up with a big cut. Just unfortunately goes to ground there. Clark. Colby's gone deep. She's in heaps of space. Sweetman, 4-on-4.
And she nearly got it.
Araya is Sweetman again. Defended by Sweetman. See that high five there. 4-on-4 matchup. Sweetman with just a great whakatai upper. Great box out. Colby had a great bid on the disc, but couldn't quite get there. Carter brings the matai kōpai, brings the disc in, looks over the top, but Clark is having none of it. And as I said before, Mark, there's players knowing each other on both teams. Brown looking for Colby immediately. Carter's in the area, slaps that one to turf. But Colby cleans it up. What a cut. Ankle breaking cuts from Colby. Goes up early. Off the hands of Carter. Colby cleans it up. Carter with hands on head. And the celebration there from Epsom girls.
Good to see them having fun.
Great positioning from Carter, peeling off the back of the stack to get up and get huge. But unfortunately, the disc just landed in Colby's hand. She looked as surprised as we are up in the commentary booth here. But Carter, such a workhorse on this Takapuna line. She's on such a strong handler on offense, but also a presence on defense too.
Epsom girls ka mua mā te Takomatahi, up by 11 over Takapuna on Tahi 1.
And we're just a few minutes away from our soft gap here. Clark deciding which side of the field she wants to put up the kume. And it goes up, and it's a beautiful pull. Is it coming in bounds? One-handed catch from Carter, so casual in the backfield. Finds Sweetman. Carter, bit of a bobble, but holds on to it, safe hands. Finds Sweetman again. What a workhorse cutter she has been downfield. McNamara on a great undercut. Araya Cook, defended by Cook there. Defensive pressure. Looks over the top for Carter. And the big forehand comes. Looking for Sweetman, and she brings it down. Sweetman looks over the top for McNamara. Carl in the area too. What a grab from Sweetman there. Murray putting on pressure. Cook gets vertical just to get the smallest hand on the disc. Turn it over. Epsom girls now back on offense. That Clark-Brown movement. Clark sends up a massive forehand. Cook is free in the deep space. All the time in the world. Craddock for the easy score. Takapuna just looking tired out there. They've put in such a grind and so much effort. And Epsom girls just punishing those little turns, those little mistakes, and that just shows the experience of their side. Huge fake there from Cook to move the defence.
It actually can be extra tiring, and I know both teams have played a similar number of games over the tournament, and they're both really tired. But if you've got Kai Kokiri's handlers with the skill of like Clark and Brown, who can just as a defensive team, you have to work so much harder to try and cut off those 50-50 passes. So Takapuna, I take the hat off to them. They're still hustling. Still putting everything they can into the game, into defence. Kāpai.
Exactly. It's awesome to see the smiles there on the Takapuna line. Just enjoying the game of Ultimate, and that's what we really are here for. Just a fun game of Ultimate and getting into the spirit of the game. Lewis now has a hand up for the Kume. Massive pull goes up. Turns over a little bit, but stays in bounds. Bright picks up the disc and puts up a huge backhand. Ate too much Wheat Bix this morning. Bright with a fantastic look downfield. Carter wasn't prepared for it to be that strong. Swinson picks up. Looks for the few pāpaka in Lewis, but doesn't quite connect. A little bit of a miscommunication, and Takapuna about to bring the disc in, the Mātai Kōpai, in on the end zone line. It looks like a timeout is called. A veteran call there from Bright by the looks of it. On the end zone line, giving them a chance to take a deep breath and chill and try and punch this one in for another goal. Epsom girls now see the coach there on the knee, Josh Howe. He's coached this Epsom team for a couple of years now, looking to just set up a defensive play and call some good matchups to generate a turn. We know that Epsom girls can, with the experience of their players on field, they can come out with that arai pehi, that defensive pressure. Okay, Mumate, Tikomarua, Epsom girls up by 12. But Takapuna, let's not count them out yet. I have seen some amazing comebacks while playing Frisbee, and you can never count out a team until the last point is scored, Mark.
That's true. But it's been an end to on both the Open and the girls. It's been an awesome tournament, and a huge thank you to NZU, New Zealand Ultimate, to Ian Stewart and his team for running it, to our tournament director, Anna Crosby, and all the volunteers, to you, Z, for stepping in, the other people who have stepped into the commentary role, and unfortunately our main commentator Riley was unable to make it after an injury at last weekend's Nationals, and we miss you, Riley, and we wish you all the best.
A huge shout out to Riley Van Turnhout, my flatmate actually. Puts in a lot of effort for the Wellington Ultimate scene and New Zealand Ultimate, and he's been the tournament director the past couple of years, working with Ian. And huge shout out to you too, Mark. Been at the commentary booth all weekend, giving us eyes and ears on the ground for these games, and really getting involved. Ka pai. It's been awesome to have you commentating on these games and giving us a lot of information.
Kia ora, thanks, Z. And also right across the tournament, to the players, to the coaches, the managers, the parents that have come to support,
the sponsors
in terms of Whakaata Māori, Māori TV for Bailey's.
See the flag
here
there in the corner of the screen.
Yes. And we'll be hearing from Ben Westerman shortly at the awards ceremony, for Caltex and with their support with fuel cards for schools throughout New Zealand, New Zealand carbon farming, and Apollo projects. But we're heading back into play now.
We've heard that soft cap go. Takapuna couldn't just quite convert. Feel Bāpaka. Swing to Swinson. Finds Landridge. Looks for the Feel Gormori and Swinson, that dump. Lewis strikes up line, generating heaps of space with those ankle breaking cuts. Swinson, safe hands. She makes those hard one-handed catches look so easy. Pick called downfield. Kolpe free.
Tell us about a pick, Z.
So signalled by Carter there with the two hands up in the air. A pick is when a defender is impeded by in their ability to catch up with by anyone on field, offense or defense, to stick with their player. So it looks like Kolpe just ran through the stack there. Carter just bumped into a couple of their players, which impeded her ability to keep up with Kolpe. So you see screens in basketball. In Frisbee, that's not allowed, and being interrupted by even your own player can constitute a pick.
Yeah, nice comparison.
Lewis, ankle breaking cuts with the twinkle toes to keep it in bounds. Bright on the mark. Swinson strikes up line. Sweetman almost gets a hand to it. Swinson looks upfield. Oh, Kolpe looked like she wanted to bid for that. Just ran out of field.
Does she live down that end of the field? I'm just thinking about how many times she's going long.
I think Kolpe could benefit from setting up a... Maybe she'll have to rent, Mark. The housing market isn't so favourable at the moment.
Set up a stall down the end.
Carter.
Love it.
Easy downfield to Leithley. Takapuna. Sweetman. And I've said it before, what a workhorse cutter. Big fake. Moving Swinson on the mark. Not much happening downfield. Looking for a dump. The few Gormori.
Having to go up.
Goes up and over.
Now that's defensive pressure. She couldn't get
Arai Pehi.
couldn't get a disc to any of the cutters or even just a dump off to the handler, so she had to put up a bit of a floater in the hope that the other Kaiko Kiri would get it, but the wind caught it and just took it away.
Feel Bāpaka. Lewis swings to Swinson, who looks downfield for Innes. Manson Bruff, big arms. Feel Gormori dumps to Swinson. Looks upfield. Carter almost gets a hand to it, but Kolpe with heaps of space. Swinson continues downfield. Kolpe strikes up line again, making it look easy. Kolpe is just living in that end zone rent-free at the moment.
There's no surprises. It's lovely to watch, isn't it? But after a long tournament, she's still got the legs for it.
Carter almost gets a bite there. And a big shout out to Carter. She's such a cornerstone on this Takapuna side. See her walking to the line again, about to play another offensive point. It's and we have heard soft cap go as well, by the way, so it will be a game to 15.
Yeah, regardless, soft cap doesn't make much of a difference, does it?
Exactly. But yeah, shout out to Carter. She's been working so hard on offense and defense, and really being that glue on that Takapuna side. We see McNamara with her signature unicorn hat, taking the line on offense. Carter, McNamara, Sweetman, Madsen, Bruff, and one more, Leithley, taking the line on offense. Epsom girls within 1 point. Okay, Toru up by 13. One more goal needed. Brown with the pull. Brown, Swinson, Lewis, Clark, Kolpe. A power line and ripped out of the air by Briar Carter. She is unbothered by the pull. Carter strikes up line. Arai Pehi, big defensive pressure from Epsom. The stall's getting high, and we have a stall out called on the mark. Sweetman couldn't find the cuts downfield. That stall out means that Brown had a stall count of 10. She reached 10, and the disc was not thrown before then. Lewis, easy up to Brown. Swinson there for the continuation, and that is the game. Epsom girls take that game 15-1 with a dominant performance over Takapuna Grammar. But a huge shout out to Takapuna as well, putting in the work. They have that great Nikihanga Korpai, that great disc movement, using their players, and they will retain a lot of their players next year as well, so I'm excited to see them come back stronger. But credit to Epsom.
An excellent final. Great skill, great spirit. Big congratulations to Epsom Girls Grammar. Very worthy winners. Second last year, but the New Zealand national champions.
We see Takapuna dancing in the background there. Happy to be here, which is awesome to see it.
It's brilliant. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back shortly with the awards ceremony, and we'll be hearing from Ben Westerman from Bailey's Taupo as our major sponsor.
Don't go away. We will see you soon. Ka kite.
Ka kite.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Built for the win, built for the win. Run the game, they know I was born to win.
I'd just like to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for their support of the college. Without the support, we wouldn't be able to offer everything we do to the students. So any funding we get is vital for what we can provide. Our students are in an area where money is tight and opportunities for them is minimal. So creating more opportunities at school for our students to participate in sport is what we're wanting to do. We want to encourage as much participation in sport from as many people as possible. So giving them opportunities and facilities at the college here is going to increase that for them. The funding will be used to make an outdoor volleyball court and to equip some of our sports equipment inside our gym. We focus a lot around the whole Tarima, around the Haora, and sport is going to be a major part of that.
Kia ora. Kia ora to those viewers who have just joined us here. We're here at the 2023 New Zealand Ultimate Secondary School Championships. And I'd like to introduce to you Ben Westerman from Bailey's Taupo. Without their support, this event wouldn't have been as awesome as it is. So, Ben, thank you very much for your contribution. How have you enjoyed the event?
It's been great. I'm pretty green to this sport, I got to say. So the last couple of days have been really interesting to get an understanding and an appreciation of what the teams have been doing, and I've seen some great action out here, and particularly the final this afternoon. It's been amazing, so well done to everyone.
Great. Bailey's do so much for the community, and particularly sports in the community. What's the best part?
Well, sure, Bailey's we're proud to be part of the secondary schools tournaments around the country, but particularly from Taupo, this event, it's great to host it here. And we're a family business that's been here for nearly 60 years, so to sort of help kids get into sport like this and enjoy a national tournament, it's really rewarding.
And how's the Taupo real estate market?
Like anywhere, there's definitely change at the moment. We're probably in a region that's quite resilient to some of the outer effects, but certainly we're noticing a bit of a change at the moment as the market shifts. But it's still a great place to live and invest in, so I encourage anyone to get in touch if they have enjoyed their time here, that's for sure.
Yeah, ka pai. And actually, given the market's always changing, and as always, the difference in successful marketing of your property is choosing a known, trusted brand with the experience like Bailey's.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I mean, it's definitely, as I said, we've been here for 60 years. We've got a great team behind us that's all together around the country with our connectivity with all our branches around New Zealand. So I think that's why as a brand we work really well and do well in a changing market as well.
Pai. Okay, well we'll jump into the awards. The first award is the Bailey's Altogether Better Travel Voucher. This award is given to the team that is altogether better. This team has embodied the spirit of unity, teamwork and dedication. Te Wairua, the spirit. Thank you all for the nominations that you've sent in. Now we'll get Ben to announce the winning team.
Sure, see, we're really proud to be part of this Altogether Better award, and this team of girls has worked really hard to send their first team to their first national tournament. They played with huge enthusiasm throughout, even against the stronger teams, so really happy to present this year's award to Whakatane High School.
Water. Come on through, Whakatane.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Yep, Ben, you get in there. Well, Ben, thank you very much for supporting. Thank you very much for supporting this event. It wouldn't have been as successful without you, ka pai, and all the best.
Kia ora,
Ka kite. Right, the next award is for the Caltex Good Sport Prize. The Good Sport Prize, this is a prize for a coach, manager, student or teacher who goes above and beyond as an inspiration to their school and sets amazing values and standards. Thank you all for the nominations. The winner of the Caltex Good Sport gift for their trip home, chosen by New Zealand Ultimate, goes to Mike Sheridan. Well done, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Kia ora. And I've just got a little bit here. Mike, you've been involved at all levels of New Zealand Ultimate over the years, haven't you?
I have. I've been involved at school level, under 20 level, under 24, open men's, and I've played myself.
And you've been at Hutt Valley since they started in 2014, since this competition started 10 years ago.
Correct, yes. We were here at the first time, 2014. I think I started at Hutt Valley High a couple of years before that, when the kids first started playing at school, my kids.
So you've travelled the furthest, and often do, but you're always committed to every year. I've got here that he even ditched his team to help assist with the commentary for the live streams, and we're very thankful for that. Our normal commentator Riley was unable with an event at the Champs last week, but we wish Riley all the best. And Mike, your experience and your commentary and your knowledge of the game was incredible. So congratulations on this win. Ka pai. We'll hand you over to Ian.
Congratulations, Mike. Here's a token from Caltex for your trip home. Help keep the troops nice and fed.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Ian. Thank you very much.
Good sport. Oh, cool. It's been awesome. Just getting some photos there with Mike. He's in an institution for New Zealand Ultimate. Okay, thank you Caltex for your contribution to this event. Once again, a big thank you for Bailey's and Taupo and Ben, and all the contributors and all the sponsors, including whakaata to Māori TV. And this tournament prize giving will begin shortly. But thank you for everyone for tuning into any of the games over the last couple of days. Ka kite apopo.